did he bring any U-Haul later that night?
Okay.
And I think any of the, like if you were to look at the footage, the ring cameras, all that stuff, you won't see a U-Haul sitting anywhere in the apartment.
After hearing all of this, I realized, look, I just gotta find the evidence. So I start sifting through these photos I have, right? I realize I have a parking lot photo. I check it. No U-Haul, just a red truck.
What time is it though?
Out there. I check another photo where you can see the window, but the problem is it's night outside, so you can't see. And so I'm looking at everything I can, and there's just nothing, you know? I have this alternate angle, I'm looking at that.
What?
But then...
Mooten!
I can't tell, man.
What is that?
I think that might actually
Mooten, that's a U-Haul! Mooten! That's a U-Haul truck! That's a U-Haul truck!
Okay, keep going.
No!
Oh my god,
Zoom in on that photo. Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and my gosh, there's a U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024.
Whose truck is it?
This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I've seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
After seeing this,
Well, fuck, but he needs to clarify at what point in the night. If he's talking about just like the key handoff or during normal hours. Wait, what time was this photo though? Wait, well, hold on. Because if this photo was taken inside with the lights on, do you think the lights stay on inside overnight?
Probably.
Fucking
I feel like a
YouTube.
lot of stores do. God damn it. Do you have ad blocker?
No, I don't even. It just does this.
bring up the brightness of it.
I feel like stores, when they turn off like the light, I feel like they always have like the night lights inside on. So it's not like totally dark.
Yeah. But wait, is it even locked up right now?
Well, no, that's what I'm
Isn't
saying.
that-
So like if the guy was looking at security
Yeah.
footage of outside, he should see it, right?
That
Yeah, but the store's not even locked up. Like that thing right there.
Well, we think
those
it
lines,
is.
I
We-
think that
everything
okay,
I
we think it
can.
is.
We think
just
no, we think it's
nothing, you know?
you and I are just guessing that it's not locked up. I don't know. My guess is it's no, because we can see a guy right there with a hat.
There he is.
Who is the guy with the hat? We need to know who the guy with the hat is. Wait, was the other guy ever with a hat?
I think so at one point, but I'm not sure.
With a white hat?
this alternate angle, I'm looking at that, and then wait a minute.
Okay, so there is a U-Haul truck. Hold on, Destiny. That's him
Oh
with
my
the white.
God.
That's
him
the
with the
guy.
white hat. That's Brandon.
That's Brandon.
Yeah, that's
Nah.
Wait. Is it the same other uniform too? Hold on. Loading.
Nothing.
Oh my god.
You know,
YouTube
I have this alt.
That's gotta be him. That's him.
That's him.
That's him. That's him. Okay. Now, did he have a U-Haul and a rental car? Or did he just have a U-Haul? Or is it somebody else's? Or... Hold on. Do we have any more camera footage of him, like, leaving or anything? Or...
yeah. Otherwise, I would know. These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay.
Okay. So Crystal ultimately also said that's a business thing, and then so she goes to Brandon, hey, we can take me on the business, he takes on all that, can't sign
My
Ooh, now, oh man. I feel like everybody's just fucked their shit good. I feel like the reason why she wants to go through and find whatever she's looking for her second set of books, kind of, her other additional paperwork, because she knows that this business is not going to take on whatever consignment stuff. The guy on the phone says it because he just must not be aware of what's happening or something. I don't know. But I think she's looking for the receipts because she knows that they're not going to be able to make that Brian Mansell guy whole, because this is like a side thing that she's running, I bet. Who is the person talking to her right now? Is that the CEO of the company or whatever?
Can't tell.
Is that Josh or whatever?
my
The COO?
gave you the mail
Wait! Oh, never mind. Two guys.
over.
Oh, that's her friend, husband, person, or whatever.
And then the
That's a corporate employee? Okay, gotcha.
yeah, he's for that storeroom. They are insane. Yep.
Fusilla, come on.
alternate angle. I'm looking at that. And then
There it is.
zoom in on that photo. Bring up the brightness of this photo a little bit, and
Get the license plate.
there's a
Enhance.
U-Haul in the parking lot right outside of the store the night of November 14th, 2024. This is something that Matt said he had seen footage of, and it couldn't be true.
And again, I believe I've seen footage from that night that shows clearly out into the parking lot, and there's no U-Haul.
And after seeing this, I said, I really have to make a call.
Yeah.
That's when the story changed. So last night,
By the way, this is why in depositions and court and everything else, people tell you not to speculate. The guy could be honest. Maybe he did see some footage and he doesn't remember seeing U-Haul. Maybe he was just wrong, but now his credibility is kind of hurt. Now his credibility is like kind of fucked here. Now he's gonna be like, well, I was, whatever you say at this point is gonna.
I talked with Matt McNeff. I brought up this question of the U-Haul.
Okay.
He told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning. You said, hey, we looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night.
They came to him.
Well, wait. Did they? Wait. Did they look into it, or did he like email them and ask a question, and then they looked into it, and then he called them to talk about it?
He told me emphatically there was no U-Haul. Y'all came to me this morning. You said, hey, we looked into it. There actually was a U-Haul there that night. Can you clear up what that's about?
So there's actually two different things that are going on here, just to help you understand.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know if
Ooh, I don't like that language there. To help you understand.
Let me help you
That's
get
abuser
this.
talk.
That is abuser talk.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that ain't good.
if you want this particularly not on the record, but we do know of a disgruntled former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October.
Wait! This is the secret caller? That's who he's referring to,
be.
right? Okay.
It could be.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Former employee that worked at another location that back on the 24th of October there was a U-Haul that went to a storage unit in Salem for another previous franchisee, like for a different situation that we had just gone through some things, and he had a previously, like, hey, I have some inventory that I didn't turn over that I was supposed to. It's at this storage location. You guys can come pick it up. And so Brandon was sent on that day to pick up with a U-Haul inventory that then he moved down. But that was
tier
October 20th.
ones.
6'9". Larky, thank you for the 69. Okay.
I don't buy this at all.
Here is a huge problem. This is why, honestly, you just shouldn't lie ever. Okay.
True.
If he, okay, we'll give him a chance to explain. But if he would have said he didn't show up at a U-Haul, and he had another rental car, and you were like, he had a different rental car, definitely not a U-Haul, and now you have a whole ass story for why he definitely had a U-Haul. Why did you have this other thing about how, like, oh no, it was definitely a rental car, not a U-Haul? But now, like, you can't, when you start to make up details past a lie, now it looks like you're really intentionally lying and not just misremembering. Illuminator, thank you for the 5 unit subs. Chat. We all love you.
Pick up
Only
with a
5.
U-Haul inventory that then he moved down, but that was October 24th.
So when
Wait.
we're talking about this ex-employee, you're saying they are conflating the October 24th event of the U-Haul coming up to Eugene with Legos with sometime after November 14th, after the store takeover.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, that's about the U-Haul that was at the other store. Okay. But what about the U-Haul outside Bricks and Minifigs?
Is that correct? Am I understanding that?
Yes.
So this
I feel like he should have, like, written down that timeline. You should be really sure on that, but okay.
is now kind of a strange story. Corporate is saying there was a U-Haul at the Eugene store dropping off Lego, but that was from a different night, different collection.
Okay.
The CEO says Brandon showed up to Salem on October 24th for his secret shopper job with Crystal, and separately, he also was getting a different collection of Legos that also included Star Wars, and that's what he brought to the Eugene store and the former employee is remembering. Then, weeks later, on November 14th, Brandon supposedly shows up again with a U-Haul, but the reason isn't for hauling Lego.
Okay.
Brandon
Okay. Oh, the second U-Haul. Okay. All right, let's go. All right.
flew in to Eugene that night. At midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on like midnight of the 14th. Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there.
By rental truck, does he mean a rental U-Haul or just a truck that he would tie or that he would hitch the U-Haul to, or?
Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation of, meaning like a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously.
Is that why he had...
Wait, what? Hold on.
Hmm? Did you see the meme I sent you?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, good.
This is like a unit. This is one thing, I believe. This does
There's
not.
no trailer on
Yeah,
that.
this
That is
doesn't
a
look like a trailer
yes.
attached.
That
This
is
is like
a
a
truck.
full. Yeah. But okay. Okay, so we must be getting to something different, or
his rental vehicle truck, and he tries to connect the trailer. He had a U-Haul. Is that the reason he had a U-Haul, was for this camper, or what? Of the 14th.
I think you can
With a
maybe
U-Haul.
connect a trailer to this U-Haul truck. I think you can.
well, if it's got a hitch on the back,
has a
theoretically.
hitch
But
to
why
it,
would you ever do
yeah.
that? You would just get a bigger U-Haul, no?
Because
They don't
maybe
even have.
it's
They're not
already
even
been
close
hacked.
to the
I don't
large.
know.
They weren't
Yeah,
even close
I
to
don't
having the largest size
No,
U-Haul.
they're
you
not.
would rent.
But the reason isn't for hauling Lego. Brandon flew in to Eugene that night. At midnight. So flew from Utah on the 13th, but landed in Oregon on like midnight of the 14th. Went and got a rental truck, and then went and stayed at a trailer that had previously been moved up there in anticipation, meaning a camper trailer, in anticipation of the potential hostile takeover previously. Is that why he had a U-Haul? Is that the reason he had a U-Haul, was for this camper, or what's going on with the? Yes. So then what happens is he takes his rental vehicle truck and he tries to connect the trailer, the camping trailer, to that truck, and it's not rated for that particular weight, and he realized, oh crap. He called around and found that U-Haul had a rating for one of their box trucks, and so he grabbed that, went and got it at 10 a.m. on the 14th, and so he then went and hooked that trailer up to the camping trailer to a U-Haul, drove that trailer down to another location where he could set up the camping trailer in Salem, dropped off the camper trailer, and then he arrived in a U-Haul to the Salem store, and then went in, said hi to Crystal, and then as she was leaving, the door shuts, and so he locks it, calls the locksmith, takes him a while to finish up the changing of the locks. Brandon at this point is pretty exhausted, so and he has an hour drive back to Eugene to drop off the rental truck. So he drops it off at midnight or 1 o'clock, something like that. Grabs the rental truck and then heads back up to the camper trailer in.
This is what it's like trying to watch JJK or whatever, right?
Yeah, this is the average fucking DGG ban appeal, man. Like, it's a fucking, they're waffling. Like, it's
Listen,
cooked.
maybe this is true, but you're gonna need a lot of fucking receipts and shit at this point to prove this story. You gotta have, otherwise, because you just went from a very simple, we just rented a car and yeah, there's no U-Haul, to actually, let me tell you this 37-minute story for why there was a U-Haul involved. Because what the fuck?
Salem, and then it probably gets in at around 2 or 3 in the morning. Spends a couple of gets a little bit of sleep before he has to head back to the store at 9 a.m. before the other employees get there. The timeline that is trying to be portrayed just makes absolutely zero sense.
Okay, so I asked, obviously, for documentation of
Yes. Oh god, and the guy's gonna say, oh, we're in a lawsuit, so we can't give you documentation on any of that.
all this from Brandon, and here's what I got.
Oh, are you ready? Here it comes. We're in the middle of a lawsuit right now, so we actually can't release any of our documentation.
First, the
Oh, okay, hold on.
U-Haul contract on November 14th. This checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo. The last one.
Is this like
True
a Get
Detective?
Married? Like, what the hell? What
This
the
is
hell
True
this?
Detective. I remember those symbols. Holy shit, there's gonna be a body inside.
Checks out what we already know. Then I got sent a photo. The last one Brandon took in the Salem store, dated 9:44 p.m., where you can see what looks like the inside of a bird cage that the Gormans had.
Okay.
And lastly, I was sent a photo Brandon took of the mileage in the U-Haul as he dropped it back off at the rental place on November 15th, 12:41 a.m.
Okay.
Now the time gap there
Okay,
is
we got mileage in, mileage
Okay,
out.
okay. Jesus.
about 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for time gap. There is about 3 hours between the last photo in Salem to dropping the U-Haul off, which is a bit of a problem for our timeline.
Yeah, it took 4 hours. Until 11 o'clock, and then I get up early for another job.
You moved 4 hours of Legos out of this truck.
Oh, so that means that the Corpo story is a little bit more credible than this disgruntled ex-employee story.
It takes about an hour to get from Salem to Eugene.
Sure, but the disgruntled employee guy is saying that it took him 4 hours to unload everything.
Well, you know how it is when you're working a shitty job. Everything feels like fucking forever. But yeah.
Okay, well,
All right, so as weird as this U-Haul thing is, the timeline just doesn't fit, to be honest. If it took 4 hours to unload, you can't also drive to another city, load and unload and drop off the U-Haul in that time. But still, even if this is true, it's pretty weird, and it's one of the most bizarre stories I've ever heard, to have a U-Haul thing back
You should see my court case. Just kidding.
to back. One of the times you're picking up Legos, the other time you're not, you're taking a camper. Nevertheless, without more proof, you kind of have to move on to another theory of how to find a missing Lego. This time, let's take the photographs that we have and reconstruct what was in the night on November 14th. Remember, that's the moment we lost the Lego. And this time, we're going to combine it with two more things. First, from corporate, I got the point of sale records from the Salem store from 2023 and 2024. And secondly, from Crystal Gorman, I got her internal records of Brian's inventory, of what was sold or not, in order to pay him and keep track of prices. Now, before we piece things together, I need to address something. At the beginning of this story, you saw the social post saying this collection was worth $200,000.
Okay.
That's what everyone knows this story as, the $200,000 Lego collection.
But
Sadly, that post was entirely wrong. In Crystal Gorman's inventory, which has a high and low estimate value of these various Lego items, the real estimated value is about $107,000. They give high estimates and low estimates, but that's right there in the middle. And for simplicity, I'll just be using averages and estimates here, but understand that, these numbers are not firm, given that they're unsold Legos. It's just rough possibilities. But the point is, it's worth nowhere near $200,000. And Reckless Ben, the one who made the
oh man, we got twists and turns all over the place.
original video covering this, said that surprised him.
Yeah, this entire time, literally every single person has been telling me.
No! This is gonna be like the thing. This is gonna be like the Bernie Mac thing, where it's like, oh my god, where it's like, oh, it seems like it's one way, obviously, and then like it gets more and more complicated. Like, holy shit, maybe it's totally not that at all. And then you loop back and you're like, oh fuck, it was actually really obvious the whole time. This guy's just retarded. Oh shit. Oh no.
There were $200,000. Like, that's how much.
But that also means that this guy and all of his friends
Retarded, yeah.
are super fucked on that civil litigation. Oh no.
This entire time, literally every single person has been telling me there were $200,000. Like, that's how much, like.
I thought he checked. That's what I was saying. Maybe this guy is like the hidden fucking jujitsu master and he's like one step ahead always. But maybe
he even shows that on the spreadsheet he's seen. He should know.
Oh no.
He put the spreadsheet in the video too.
They sell all these sets for.
My original assessment of about $200,000 was going up to his father's house and looking in 3 different rooms with all the sets. It was before I'd actually gone through and had set numbers and done an actual evaluation. I looked at it and went based on as things progressed and as I started to delve more into the actual inventory and evaluating it, that number changed. But we put out the press release well in advance of the event itself, so that.
Oh, so they lied about their illegal side consignment business.
That press release went out
the
before I
set's
had those.
it's worth whatever people pay for it. You know?
True.
It could be $2 million.
Fucking
Who knows?
true.
3, 2.
Absolutely
1.
true.
Full numbers, so we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people in.
This is like when
It's just business.
this is like when Pixie, during the deposition, when she was like, "Well, I deleted the message so it would look better for my Gibson Go." It's like, why would you just say that? Why wouldn't you lie about that? Why would you say that to me? Hello?
Those full numbers, so we went, this is a nice even number that will grab attention and bring people into the store, so we went with that.
And yeah, Smith, I mean, to believe that is accurate at the high end. Like, it was one of those things where when she was looking through and going, well, it says this and it says this, like, you don't think even at the high end?
You haven't actually seen the spreadsheet.
No,
You might want to cut that part out because he hasn't actually seen the inventory sheet.
Oh,
He's tried to sweep her twice, by the way.
The spreadsheet says about from between 85,000 to 120 something thousand, and the midpoint about 107 or something like that of what was inventory. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been a really big point of misinformation to clear up, because if we're ever going to find the missing Lego, we need to start with the right number, the right value. It's about $107,000.
That's even worse than what he'd make on the S&P, like by far.
Is the part 2, is all that still up or no?
I believe so. Part 1 is.
Bring a friend for free.
What an ad. Right there.
This?
Yeah.
Do you think he knew the whole time? though? He said he was surprised.
He couldn't be surprised. He has shown the spreadsheet in one of the videos.
Yes,
It
but there was
literally says
also,
it there.
but there was another thing too that they said, but I thought it was just somebody misspeaking. Remember when they talked about Going to small claims court?
Yep, they went for 100K.
One of the thoughts you had was taking the small claims court, right?
No, because it's way too much money to take to small claims court.
You can't take someone to small claims court, man, for $200,000.
Yeah, it's 12,000 at the most, right? 12,500.
Everyone hated option number 3.
Wait, hold on.
And I guess it makes sense.
No, wait. That's not what I'm looking for. Hold on.
The $10,000 one, yeah.
But I'm not giving up. We just need to get creative.
Theoretically, if you wanted to, could you take them to small claims court?
If you wanted to limit it.
If I wanted to limit it,
But you would at least get $10,000 out of that, though, right?
we could, but it would be giving up $100,000 more, you know?
There it is. Case
So,
closed.
why is he saying he's surprised then by being...
Lying.
Hold on.
Now, between 2023 and 2024, the Gormans record sales of about $24,000 of Brian's collection in their inventory tracking list. And of those sales, Brian was entitled to about 65 to 70% of it. He was paid $17,000, which roughly tracks with that. Which means on November 14th, the big night, the remaining amount of Brian's collection that should have been in there is about $82,000. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize this is a very different number than corporate provided, who found only $2,000 to $5,000 of it linked to Brian. And later they said they only found $13,000 to $15,000 in total Lego Star Wars.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total.
Wait. Do you hear that music?
Lego Star Wars.
Hold on.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000.
Does that sound like something to you?
No, not really.
A little bit? You know what? It kind of does, right?
Lego Star Wars.
So you're talking maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars.
Right there.
Okay, just thought it did.
And that's
Okay.
all. Maybe $11,000 to $15,000 total Star Wars, and that's all Star Wars inventory in the whole store.
So that's corporate side of the story, but I didn't want to take their word for it. Of course, so I went through Crystal's photos myself, which she shared with me, and hired people to go through and hand tag the Star Wars Legos that were in these photos. We looked through over 200 plus photos, multiple videos, and matched what we saw with Brian's collection. In the end, I ended up with about $21,000 of Legos.
Where's the rest of the Legos?
Uh-oh!
Nah.
Matching Brian's collection that can be proven to be in the store on the night of November 14th. Now, to state the obvious, that's about 3 to 5 times what
That
corporate
should be
estimated
proven in
at
the
least.
store that night.
And that's from the woman's perspective, right? From what she took photographs
Yeah.
of, so it should be everything, including the...
Well,
What?
there should still be stuff. Well, hold on. Now I'm confused.
What?
Where's the other fucking like 60?
Yeah, that's the question. Where is it?
Holy.
Based on their press release. Now, yes, there are inherent errors in these estimates. Maybe we picked up some Lego that matched Brian's collection, but wasn't Brian's. But even though this is a bigger number than corporate said, I have to admit, even with pretty generous assumptions being made, there's still a huge gap of about $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions.
Oh!
Nah.
Hold on. I actually just got it. 1 second. Are we still gonna get the double consignment? Hold on.
I watched this Lego guy. I'm thinking of giving this Zan's Zolfutin person a special tag because every meme that they link is a banger. It's never been a bad one.
Wait, you don't know about Zan's?
Dude, look at this new one that he sent.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Zan's always
that's
links
a good
banger memes, but I want to ban him for
Holy
like 20% of the
shit.
memes that he makes. So, but yeah, they're always good.
Yeah, but they're good. They're always good.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Whew, another turn. Let's go.
Who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy. So these
Now it gets messy?
pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him. This was stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list, which had a...
Wait. Brian sold him those Legos that were just photographed?
I don't know.
That's what he's saying? That Brian had already sold him these?
From him.
Go back.
And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Oh, was he trying to double dip? Brian is the guy who originally owns the Legos for his dad, right?
Yes. But it seems like M&R already had those Legos, no?
No, he's saying this is from Brian, I think.
Is that? I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, that's what, no, that's what he just said.
About $61,000 here that I just couldn't find. But then I learned Brian had made a special side deal with M&R Productions, who had recently purchased some Legos from him. And this is where it starts to get messy. So these are the pictures that M&R Productions sent me, looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Understand?
Looking at the Lego that Brian sold him.
Yeah,
these
so
are pictures he sent me.
Brian, no. So Brian sold the M&R guy these Legos.
Yes.
Yes.
But the question, so it's an English issue right here, okay? Because it's an English issue because technically M&R Productions could be taking a photo of these at his house that Brian had sold him.
Yeah. Well, M&R owns these now because Brian sold it to him.
Sure, but then why are these even being brought up then?
To double dip! Because Brian wants to get double paid!
But how would Brian get double paid if they don't have the Legos in store to sell?
Because they're claiming the corporation stole them!
Oh.
Yeah!
This was
because remember we couldn't find all these Legos, they were missing.
No way!
Stuff reportedly in storage, and it's interesting because of an early inventory list which had a column called location that Crystal used, and it listed a lot of the Star Wars items as being located in what they called storage. Now previously I was told that all of the stuff in storage was put back in the store, but there's a bunch that's on this list that I can't find in the store that seem to appear in these pictures.
Whoa, did he cross-check the numbers?
Now, I've been assured, by the way, that most of these Legos were not part of the inventory spreadsheet. They were never given to Bricks and Minifigs. This is a separate part of the collection. But I did a check.
Oh,
and
no!
100%
No!
of the items that match the Brian collection inventory.
100%! What?
Just so happened to be
paid out again.
Location
He's the
of
scammer.
storage. Collection inventory just so happened to be listed with a location of storage. So this starts to make things incredibly fuzzy, and I'm inclined to believe that a lot of these are part of that same inventory list.
Wait!
Dude, this guy had a GoFundMe for like 700K.
Well, wait, so who... But who's even the thief here, then? Did Crystal get... Well, no, because Crystal would have had to let go of these as part of her inventory.
Well, maybe he also had access to the storage place, right? And then it sounds like Brian sold them to M&R.
Maybe... I don't know, man.
Now, if we take that value of the side deal, that's about $10,000 to $20,000 that's not actually missing. Now, it's at this point I started looking more at...
Why does he never consult with this robot guy anymore? He needs to bring the robot guy back in. He would talk some sense into this.
The point of sales records. I realized maybe we could find some of this missing Lego there too. So
this is how Reckless is going to look after giving the GoFundMe money to Brian. You see that?
No, only notes. Oh.
No! Nah! Nah! Holy shit. What, in the Mormon church were the good guys the whole time? Is that possible?
Convince me. Tell me every last thing.
Dude, Reckless Ben is gonna get sued for all he's got.
He's gonna get so fucked.
That's gonna be the Bricks and Minifigs YouTube channel.
Your mortal desires mean nothing.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this guy's saying, don't show this on stream.
Oh yeah, he sent it to me too, yeah.
What? Well, that would be kind of weird, no? You need to get a lawyer and take them to court. It's a civil matter, not a police matter. Wrong. It can be both civil and criminal. Wife and brother are attorneys. And we have spoken to several as well. This is the original Lego owner? Oh!
Crazy. If your wife and brother are if they're attorneys, like...
So this is from the Salem internal store records. Like, I guess this is what is entered when someone does a sale, and it's everything from September 2023 to November 2024 of Star Wars anything. And by the way, before we continue, yes, this was all a lot of work. If you want to, please support us on Patreon.
I will. I am joining it. I'm doing it right the fuck now.
He's my king.
I'm sorry. I 100% expected him to take on the fucking Populo, Sloppo, fucking Corpo, bad, whatever bullshit, and not do any real work on this. And he put in the work. Going through the pictures and manually tagging and finding.
Yep. We gotta make this guy the FBI director.
Yes? Holy shit.
Yeah.
With the robot? With the suspenders? He only has a $5 membership. Is he a cop? Is he not?
We're bringing copies to the buy cash.
Shut the fuck up.
I'd confirm him. This is gonna be Hunter Biden's AG. I'm down.
Supporting the creator financially. Add more details. I love your investigative work and your commitment to getting to the bottom of things, even if it means making big enemies along the way. Exclamation. Okay. God damn. Okay.
That's how this show gets made. But anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now that really worried me because Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But
wait!
We're back to Crystal scamming.
Because she was showing more sales than she was counting on Brian?
anyways, according to those records, about $51,000 in sales went through during this time period in a way that matched Brian Mansell's collection. Now that really worried me because Crystal's inventory list showed only $24,000 in sales for Brian, and Brian was only paid for that amount. But suddenly I remembered back to a time when I spoke to Crystal, and I asked how much was sold prior to the takeover.
Which is something similar from what you told me, Crystal.
Yeah.
You told me, hey, it was about 50-something thousand.
Yeah.
But Brian was only paid 17,000.
Okay.
And it should have been about...
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm giving you my insight as a professional white woman dealer. Anytime you get that response, when you catch a white woman doing some fuck shit.
And they say, okay?
Yeah, and they're like, okay. They're not agreeing with you. They're not disagreeing. They're just like, okay. Okay.
That's because their brains are going. They're thinking. They're scheming.
No, they're getting ready to fight. That's the fight or flight mechanism. How did she gave him the wrong set of books. If you're going to keep two sets of books, guys, okay, there's a reason why, like in Shawshank Redemption, the guy was so happy to have the prisoner who, like, knew everything about accounting, okay? It's a lot of work, all right, if you're going to scam the government and scam other business owners and scam everybody, okay? In before... At the end of this video, he digs up her criminal records, and when she was at 19 years of age, she actually stole $30,000 of Lego figures. And that was what her crime was.
About double that. And I'm just trying to make sense of that, given that everyone's accusing each other of theft right now. You understand?
I mean, without seeing any of those records, without seeing those individual tickets, I can't answer that any better.
What, you don't have them anymore? You don't have... Also, that's your answer? Excuse me? Oh, I don't know. I can't... I know I paid people that I say I've paid. I don't need to... Oh, I don't know. You have to show me the... Yeah, you have to show me the PayPal on that one. I don't remember I ever paid him anything ever. I don't know. Maybe I scammed him for half his shit. I don't know.
Okay.
She pulled the...
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Those individual tickets, I can't answer that any better.
Okay. This is kind of a problem. The math ain't math in here. 65 to 70% of 50,000 is almost double what we believe Brian was paid. And digging into the details, It turns out a lot of these sales come from what Crystal's spreadsheet actually categorizes as layaways, meaning they were marked as having been sold, but layaways are when someone puts a down payment on an item and later pays it off. But the problem was there were a lot of these, worth about $20,000 in layaway. And that felt a little strange to me. And because of that, I asked Josh Johnson, the income...
Who is buying Lego figurines held on consignment via layaway? I bet. I don't even know what I would bet, actually. Was she taking out loans again? I don't even see. What the fuck?
Coming owner, and he responded, quote, there were 2 to 3 items on layaway when they took over. So on the list of that,
that she didn't call that much.
On the inventory list, do you know about how many layaways?
I haven't gone through and done a count, but I know it was.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Than 2 to 3.
It was about 98.
That makes sense.
So there were about $15,000 to $25,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Okay.
That's just the part.
Go back like 5 seconds?
Yeah, what about it?
Who's putting a $10 set on layaway, man?
Well, wait,
maybe the payment.
Maybe it was part of like a larger deal or whatever.
Okay, maybe.
Great. Now I gotta wait for it to load. Thanks, Mooten. Thanks.
That makes sense.
So there were about 15.
Wait, fuck. Hold on. We need to look at this. Hold on.
8.
That makes sense.
So,
boss.
Maybe it was part of the same sale.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
How many? Where are my accounting people, or my legal people? When you get a set of books from somebody and it's just like an Excel spreadsheet and it's very obvious that they're not like actually utilizing their POS system or they haven't set it up properly and they're dumping everything into like 1 or 2 columns.
What does cost mean? Is that how much they put down?
I don't know. That's how much they're selling. No, that's probably how much they're selling it for. That'd be my guess, right?
Well, no, because there's low value and high value next to it, and the cost, quote unquote, is 4 times as low.
Oh, maybe that's what they bought it for. Is that what I said?
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that could. I guess. All right.
Well, actually, yeah, I have no idea. Well, I don't even know what we're looking at here, actually. Because with this $15,000 figure is coming from low value, right? But that's not the cost of... I don't even know.
But there were about $15,000 to $25,000 worth of sets on layaway.
Like, you should know the number to that, right? This is not like, quantum field theory. There's like an excitation, and probabilistically it's anywhere from who knows until we measure the value of the sale. What does this mean? What? You should know the actual number, right?
Okay.
That's just...
Why is she... I wonder if at some point the husband was like, oh, shit. I think my wife was up to some fuck shit.
The part that's surprising. That's the part that I can't get my head around.
He's like, that's right? And she's like, I have no idea. Anytime when people start looking at shit, this is when people get caught like lying or cheating or whatever, and you're like showing them like evidence that they clearly know they fucked up, and they're like looking at it like they're seeing it for the first time, like, that does look kind of bad. Like they're not the person being accused, like, okay, yeah, that's this face right here.
I go, how could, let me just be really honest. I don't believe there was that much layaway. I don't know. I don't know how that's possible. How could there be that much layaway? I don't know. It's like I don't believe, because I was talking to some people about bricks and minifigs. They go, yeah, there's some layaway. There's not that much layaway. I talked to people who were neutral, kind of on corporate side, but also people who were just normal bricks and minifigs people. They say there's not that much layaway. Help me understand why there's $20,000 worth of layaway here.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Here it comes.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. If you talk to other bricks and minifigs locations, layaways.
Well, he just said that.
Extremely rare. I think outside of the Brian's collection, I don't.
Okay, good. I'm not crazy here. So then, why was there so much layaway there?
No, absolutely not. Outside of Brian's collection, I think at the time we maybe had 2 used sets on layaway outside of his collection. Okay. It was not a common thing traditionally. I don't know that we'd ever done layaway before the collection came in.
Oh, she's
With Brian's
squirming.
collection, it was a little bit different because so much of this collection were one, new in box, all in one place, reasonably priced, and a lot of the harder to find items. And so customers would come in and put, I'm gonna guess probably half of those layaway items were not gonna be sold to the person who took them on layaway. Because we had several.
I'm sorry, from a business perspective, bullshit. I don't believe this at all. If these items are so fucking hot, because these are basically auction tier, right? Like it's not like there's a set price for these, right?
New in box. You could, you can.
If there are so many people coming in, somebody's like, whoa, I want to put that one on layaway for $40. Then you'd say, excuse me, if it's so hot that people are willing to buy it for $40, then fuck you, I'll sell it for $50. Why the fuck would you ever layaway stuff that's like, it's super in demand? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why would you do that?
That would.
Oh man, he's realizing over here. Also, where did the shadow figure controlling them go?
They said, I'm getting out
The
of
girl
here.
figure in the background, where did the shadow figure go?
And put them on layaway and then change them. So this was something like, somebody would come in and want 10 different sets, but only be able to buy one.
Then you say, tough luck, buddy. What do you mean? What?
Can I put the rest of those on layaway so you don't sell them? I'll pay $10 to put these sets on layaway. Traditionally with layaway, we would ask for 10% down. They'd have 30 days to make their next payment, or we'd refund the layaway amount and then put it back on the shelf.
Why would you refund the layaway? You're paying to take it off the... Why would you give the money back? Well, this doesn't make any sense at all. Why the fuck would you even do that? What?
She's not good at business.
Because this collection was the collection it was, and I wanted to give these people the opportunity to, to get these sets, we were a lot more generous with how long and the amount of payments that people could make towards the layaway.
Nah, what? What? We were super generous while our business was $175,000 underwater?
So a lot of these, we had several of them. I think one of the Ewok villages, we put on layaway 4 different times, and then it came off of layaway and back on layaway and then off and then sold. So a lot of these would have gone on and off of layaway and then back out on the shelf, just depending on the person who was putting it on layaway. That was completely unique to this collection.
So, look, I'll be honest, I don't trust Josh Johnson, but something is weird here. So a lot of these are, look at this. It says POS final sale price, but it's listed as a layaway, but it's sold for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because it matches with the store sale price.
Okay.
So were they on layaway? Were they accidentally marked layaway on the spreadsheet? What's going on there?
I mean, without seeing the actual sales ticket and seeing what else, what items were sold together, what else was sold with it, I can't actually see the sales ticket. We had several layaway items in which customers were putting multiple things on layaway, paying for most of one item, and then, or they were buying, 8 different things together, and then putting all
do they have like a fucking finance division in their store? Like, how are they managing all this shit? What the fuck? Oh, that's Kathy. She's coming in for the 10 cents in the back. She's already put layaway down on 2 of them, and then she's paying in full for 1, and then she's gonna pay in full for the other 7, and then pay off the rest of the other, or 1 of them, and we're gonna take that 1 off layaway. Like, Jesus Christ.
I've watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares, and this does sound like the retarded fucking business owners, though.
8 different things together, and then putting all of them on layaway and making payments on multiple items at the same time. Our Ewok village was one of those cases. At some point, he had, I think, 8 or 9 different items on layaway. So they'd come in and make a payment for a bulk payment. I've got 800 things on layaway. I'm gonna make $100 on my payment.
I thought she said that they refunded the layaway though after, no?
One customer in particular would do that, and then when he'd gotten up high enough to pay for 1 set, we'd pull that set out, mark it as sold. So without seeing the actual tickets and
they were financing Legos, bruh.
And my layaway records, I cannot answer a question any clearer than that.
But I even found more than that in this POS data. I also found about $10,000 in sales that match Brian's collection that were not marked as sold under this inventory spreadsheet. Some of our things that were not found were explained by the POS system because they were found in the POS system as being sold. So like they weren't marked on the spreadsheet, but they were marked as sold via the POS system. And this is about $10,000 worth of Lego that basically were matched.
Huh.
You haven't checked any of this? She's acting like it's the first time she's seen any of this. Before all this internet drama blew up, you didn't think it was a good idea to maybe get your ducks in a row here?
See, and I don't know. Take anything happening from, let's see, sorry, I'm trying to do math here. I don't know without being able to see all of the records. There is a possibility that the consignments were ended when I wasn't at work and I just didn't go through and pull them up. They didn't get put in the consignment ticket. I hadn't gone through those consignments in a couple of months. I hadn't gone through the inventory in the back room in a couple of months. So it is entirely possible there were sales that were finished that I never clocked as being finished.
Hello?
3, 2,
You're not logging
1.
your layaway loan repayment scheme fucking Legos anywhere? How the fuck can anybody even know what the fuck is happening?
I don't know that without going through and actually seeing it.
But you're saying it's possible stuff was sold, not updated on this inventory list.
It's entirely possible that stuff did not get updated on my spreadsheet. I'm not going to sit here and claim it's not possible. It's possible I missed things.
So where does this leave us? I know some people are jumping to conclusions here, but I must remind you that on the night of November 14th, 2024, Crystal Gorman was concerned about Brian getting paid or not getting paid.
He has not been paid his percentage yet, and if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay.
Okay. So Crystal ultimately also.
What? She wasn't keeping track of any of that beforehand? She wasn't ready for any of this before they came? It's because she has a second set of books. She 100%. 100%! She's fucked all of this up.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, hey, we can mistake him on the business, he takes on all that, that's not that.
So obviously, one could see that and say she was intending to reconcile with Brian, maybe she hadn't gotten around to it, and of course, corporate will probably take a more cynical view of what she's doing by printing these receipts. But the point is, regardless of whose side you're on, I think we can all agree, there's a lot of weird stuff here on all sides. Abnormal stuff. Sure, maybe you can chalk some of this up to bad record keeping between the U-Haul layaway, $20,000 Lego sets that corporate called $2,000 to $5,000 that was there that night, the off-book deals. But even if we can't like fully know 100%, what these weird things were about, I think they tell a story of what actually happened to Brian's collection. In a way, multiple people, I think, are kind of right, kind of wrong. Gormans were correct that more of that collection was there that night of the takeover than previously thought. But corporate also alleged that some of it was offsite, and that appears to be partly true, although some of that is disputed, and it looks like, way more of the collection was sold and layawayed than Brian was paid for. But all in all, there's a lot less missing.
I mean, yeah. We've gone from, originally, it sounds like there was $200,000 of Legos stolen, to it sounds like there's a few $1,000s potentially of inventory that was mismanaged or was on site that shouldn't have been, that wasn't part of the bricks and minifig inventory, but the lady wasn't really accounting for it because she was doing a side consignment business. I mean,
than many people think, especially if your starting number is $200,000. I estimated, and I must emphasize, estimated with bad records, that there's only about $10,000 to $20,000 in Lego that isn't explained by one of these sources. This isn't to say Brian's been fully compensated. Much of this, Brian wasn't paid for that I know of. So I estimate he's still out about $50,000 to $83,000 for Lego he wasn't compensated for. And I think honestly that's something that Bricks and Minifigs obviously should handle. And
most people don't know how to run a business or how difficult it actually is. I tend to assume people are stupid, not malicious, more often than not. As somebody with no experience auditing or going through other people's books, my guess would be that the second you pull out a second set of books, you know you're on some fuck shit. That there could be issues with accounting and taxes and whatever other bullshit maybe, but once you pull out the real books, you know you're on some fuck shit. That would be my guess.
And make right. Regardless of what a franchisee does, the new one, the old one, the company behind it must stand behind their product, their service, and I can't imagine a better example of a company doing the opposite.
What does a book mean? When you talk about your books, it's just like the total life of the company, right? So if I have a business and I buy and sell things and I get it through corporate and then I sell it to customers or whatever, I have my set of books for my inventory, for the stuff that comes in that I sell, blah, blah, blah. If I want to do a side business, I can't have that stuff going through my normal set of books. If I like going through my normal accounting, because if corporate ever looks at it, or if I'm trying to, it wouldn't make sense. I can't have that. So I have a second set of books that will include my illegal or illicit trade. Right? I also might have a second set of books because books are important, not just for taxes or corporations, but because you need to keep track of what you have, right? I need to know how many, even if I'm doing illegal shit, I'm sure drug dealers up to a certain point, they have their own set of books or whatever, because you gotta be able to keep track of shit. So the second set of books, that's the real shit, your real inventory, your real profit and loss, your real everything. The second set of books means you know that you're on some fuck shit that you don't want other people to see.
Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility.
Yeah, it could mean Excel spreadsheet, it could mean whatever, but obviously.
Opposite. Unfortunately, Bricks and Minifigs has chosen to deflect and dodge responsibility at most opportunities and created a really awful customer experience that has snowballed into this crazy series of events.
I mean, maybe I will say from the very outset of this, that CEO guy talking to anybody, that was unbelievably fucking retarded to me. I don't know what the valuation of that company is or how much equity he has in it or how he came to be in that position. I cannot think of a dumber fucking thing than a CEO running out to debate some kid with a fucking camera. That just seemed like always retarded. Every single time that guy was out there, I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? You have a whole ass corporate legal team to deal with shit like this? Why the fuck would you do this yourself? Why would you ever do that? Use your people that you pay.
But instead of taking accountability for that, they've taken an aggressive legal strategy, which I told them personally was a horrible idea. As of writing this, Brian Mansell is being sued for $1.3 million as part of a legal campaign.
No shot. Where are you getting these posts from? The guy. He sent you the thing, right?
He sent me, yeah.
Salem PD picks and chooses what reports they will take. If you have media connections, this is the time to use them. They have no idea the types of connections I have. Worked in entertainment industry for the last 20 years. It's coming. 27 weeks ago.
No!
No shot!
Oh
no
God,
shot!
Get this guy.
No shot!
I wonder if he reached out to the YouTubers.
That's what I wonder. Well, did Ben? Is it Ben Reckless or Reckless Ben? Did he say Did he say in the beginning how they came to?
I don't know.
This man spent his life collecting what's now known as the world's largest LEGO Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000. And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thief.
He said Brian contacted him. Wait, no, I gotta see it again in here. What was the thing?
It's probably gonna be in the first fucking minute.
Thieves to cover the entire thing up. But the craziest part is that the collector doesn't even know that his collection's been stolen. Yeah, the collector's son, Brian, well, he reached out to me because he has no clue how to break this news to his dad.
At this point, my father...
Bruh! Wait! What's his religion? The enemies to this have been the Mormon people the whole time. What if he's like from a warring faction? Do the Latter-day Saints or whatever? Is that Mormons or Seventh-day Adventists?
Jehovah's
Or Jehovah's Witness? Do we know? Where's he from?
Had a health episode, we can't bring stress to him.
The reason he's reaching out to me is because the police are covering this entire thing up. And at this moment, I promised Brian that I would not end this video until I get his entire world record Star Wars collection back. But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation.
Is he doing the... I'm not gonna say it, but... Do you think?
Is he doing what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Stop! No!
Against him and Reckless Ben and any of the...
Wait.
Oh my god.
What?
That could be the other faction.
No! Shut up. Hold on.
Give me the background on how you first found out about this Lego situation and how you got interested in it.
At the end of my last video, I was looking for other videos to do, so I just put a little call to action, like 10 seconds long. Hey, if you have a problem the police can't solve, email me at this email. And then I just like set up a little email, just got literally like 10,000 emails the next like 2 days. And I was actually in line for Burning Man. It was I think a 22-hour line since it started raining at Burning Man. So me and like my 3 friends just all like went through and were like just starring everyone that could like maybe be a cool video idea. And we were looking for a video that was more family friendly because a lot of my videos get taken down or shadow banned and like age restricted because we're talking about like, we're trying to take down people that torture people or that like abuse people, you know, like really kind of not YouTube friendly stuff. So then we see this insane story and it's about Legos and we're like, oh, that's family friendly. This is crazy. It seemed like there was such an easy solution, just give the Legos back. And it's like very easy to understand. This company stole the little guy's Legos, but they're coming up with legal loopholes in order to like keep it, I guess. And in a lot of my videos, I've always come up with like legal loopholes to do good things. And it seems like this company was using legal loopholes to do bad things. So I was like, this is kind of like the perfect like battle, you know, like legal loopholes for good versus legal loopholes for bad. That'll make an interesting video, and it's about something family friendly, Legos, something everyone can understand.
Yeah, maybe.
He seems like he's there to make a cool little funny video, and now he's gotten absolutely cooked.
As part of a legal campaign against him and Reckless Ben and any of the associates. Remember, Brian is the same guy who lost all these Legos at Bricks and Minifig store. And I told the CEO and COO that's ridiculous and they should drop this.
Well, why hasn't Brian? Did he reach out to Brian at all for this video? Maybe it'll be in the end.
Mistakes have been made by plenty of people here, but there's a lot more people who have inflicted self-owns, the likes of which we've rarely seen, by just choosing the worst possible path at every fork in the road. No pun intended. But the best path to making things right, in my view, is by just making Brian whole and moving on. Rob?
Yeah,
get this guy to go over your case, man.
The aggressive legal strategy. You are a Lego store at the end of the day. You are supposed to be about fun, not about a rerun of Suits. But anyways, that's my investigation. Those are my closing thoughts. And I knew I wanted to approach everyone involved in this whole story
Brian!
with my results and see what they thought to close things
Brian!
out. Does all that make sense to you? Because I'm showing everyone in this story and saying, hey,
the thing
are any of these numbers blowing your mind, or is any of this crazy to you?
No, it's not crazy. But what's crazy, again, like all the photo evidence that both sides have points to there being, sure, $20,000 worth of Lego of Star Wars Lego in the store that night, right? I'm just like, can people understand maybe why there was some confusion and why there was some hesitation when somebody comes in and says, hey, you owe me $60,000 worth of product in Lego, and we go, we don't even know who you are. Like, yeah, Crystal mentioned something about consignment on her way out the door.
This whole ordeal is a masterclass in process and procedure. Somebody has a dispute, tell them to take it up with corporate, make them go through the ordinary channels. Until then, they were right to call the police, trespass people. Don't fucking come here. You want to file a lawsuit? File a lawsuit. Don't say anything else. You don't have to give a comment on anything, because every single thing you say or do is going to be heavily scrutinized by the public here and is going to come back to, you know, fuck you a million times. Well, a million times harder in the ass. The only thing... like, you can still put out statements and everything, but you have a whole HR department to do this with. Why not just, like, you know, run it through legal, make a public statement, whatever else. I don't know why the CEO guy was talking to the. I just don't know why the CEO guy was talking to the people. That was just so retarded. I don't know.
And we go, sure, we'll get that figured out. But then the guy just walks in and demands $60,000 worth of Lego. Like, what am I supposed to do other than say, cool, show me, can you show me the proof?
The problem is there's so much of a dispute on the timeline, and this is what's going to make the story so hard to tell. It's like, they say, you guys are unreasonable. They tried, and eventually they gave up. But they say they tried, and they were basically met with, like, unreasonable requests, things like that. So
what is I didn't see like good efforts to try though. Now maybe they did and it just wasn't in Ben's video, but it always felt to me like he was just like, here's a spreadsheet of $100,000 Legos, give them to me. Like that's all I ever saw. I didn't see any more proof ever offered about it. Maybe I just don't remember, or maybe it was in a part that wasn't in the video, but I feel like I didn't ever really see like a good faith attempt to get anything back.
Verification? Documentation? Is that unreasonable, you think?
Well, I think they would say they provided the documentation, and you guys say you.
Well, the documentation was a fucking spreadsheet.
More documentation. So I mean, that's kind of the
right. A spread, like I understand, a spreadsheet and a contract are a good start.
Maybe, yeah, barely. But like, but this doesn't mean anything. This is like Joan and them, like, oh, you have to have the cryptographic hash from the. It's like it's just a fucking spreadsheet, bro. Fuck, what do you do with a spreadsheet? This is not anything.
Yeah.
But what do you? But we never got that. That was never sent to us at corporate, by the way.
Y'all don't have the.
Oh, they did allege that in the lawsuit. Now they could be lying then, and he could be lying here, but he is consistent.
Y'all do have the spreadsheet though, yeah?
That was shared online, but months after we asked for it.
His company might need to rebrand, honestly. Well, because like at this point, no, all of the people who watch the original video, they're gonna come away with what they, you know, the reckless Ben take. They're not gonna keep looking into it.
Sure, 100%. Yeah, it looks really bad for them. Yeah.
I'm so confused. It says I'm on the file right now. It says storage used, owned by BAM Franchising Inc. Owner Salem.or briggsandminifigs.com.
What are you?
That's not them though. That's her LLC. That's not corporate.
What are you looking at?
It says owner Salem.or at briggsandminifigs.com. That's you guys. It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September, guys.
Oh, no, wait. I thought he was putting something else. Star Wars lot sold list. Oh, no, this is their, oh my God, what do you call it? Their domain? Although it says salem.or, so that still might be the lady.
It says owned by BAM Franchising Inc. It says created September 6th, 2024. And when I look at it, this is the Mansell list, I believe.
So this would have been created under like so we have the
y'all definitely have this. Y'all have access to this.
Well, I had no idea. Like
he's so the answer here is so why who is this guy? Whatever happens, the Mormon police have to be disbanded. This guy needs to be fired. Crystal needs to be extradited back to the United States to stand for wasting everybody's fucking time. Okay. Whatever the fuck he's gonna say, okay, because honestly, and I almost actually believe this, that he is being honest here, and this is just on some fucking corporate drive somewhere using a corporate domain. The answer should be, when you retake possession of a franchise, there is a standard transfer process to go through by which the franchisee transfers all the records and documents, everything over to the franchisor. That should be the answer here. Not that like we're gonna go through every random fucking file on a Google Drive that might be assigned to an email, because there might be a trillion of these fucking files scattered through. But like he gives the worst possible response here. What is he saying?
Definitely have this. Y'all have access.
Like if somebody were to come up to me and say, Destiny, you owe me like all this shit, and it's like, I don't think I owe you fucking whatever. And then somebody's like, well, I've got a spreadsheet right here, and it's inventory at destiny.gg, and this was created 2 years ago. And it's like, okay, well, fuck, like, technically I own the domain, and I can log into the Google workspace, and I could have technically looked at it, but I don't fucking know. How the fuck would I know every single fucking file on my domain? I'm not gonna know this. But he just gives the worst fucking answers. He's so fucking retarded.
We have the,
y'all definitely...
Look at 6964 on the spreadsheet. Bob Fett's Slave 1 Micro.
Micro like your penis?
Shut up.
You have this. Y'all have access to this.
Well, I had no idea. Like, so if this is the
It's
first
right-
that
it's right here,
anybody
right
has shown me that
It's the first I've
that
ever seen it.
a spreadsheet was created using like bricks and minifigs Salem, like, and all of this stuff was archived.
Like, they might not even use any Google fucking shit. You might be able to just use like that email to sign up for a Google thing. They might not even necessarily have access to it. Maybe, depending on how their
He's just
emails are configured.
they've
But-
hired all the retards at the top level. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
well, he's
why
not
are they
just
even talking to
he's just not
Coffee?
a retard. He's the CEO, so he's like the king
He's the
retard.
retard.
He's just so fucking retarded.
This is the first I've seen that this spreadsheet was created by Crystal. And we don't know how accurate it is, how up to date it was. We don't know a
So
lot of those
stupid.
types of things. And understand, I appreciate you sharing this with us because we had no idea. Again, you don't know what you don't know. And you can't, like, we don't know everything. And we don't go, like, looking in every nook and cranny everywhere. Like, we just don't.
Oh my god, he's so. I don't even know, bro. Like, why are you saying? Just shut the fuck up.
Know some of those things. So if that's there, we can now have our team go look for that.
When it comes right down to it, they're going to have to make a judgment call and say, who's telling the truth? The people who were taking all the pictures and say, and we couldn't take pictures of everything the night of, but we're being honest consistently, and the people who are saying, there was $5,000 there. Really? Like, that makes no sense. We've got the evidence, and yes, there's a discrepancy. We acknowledge we did not take pictures of everything.
You missed. How much? What? How many tens of thousands of dollars of pictures you missed?
Like 30,000 minimum.
What?
But does that mean that the discrepancy is, oh, and therefore these missing, percentage, whatever that would be, 5%, is some magical other place? Or it was sitting there in the store and we didn't get pictures on it.
If I
That's
if
the
I
more
messed
reasonable
up,
explanation.
if I messed up on my record keeping, I will take accountability for that. It's possible. If my staff didn't draw attention that consignments had left out, so I'd move them to the thing. Any of that, I will take.
I also don't like that he did this whole video and didn't address the actual consignment claim here, because that is a pretty big underlying part of this as well. But
Take accountability to that. I am more than willing to do that. I need BAM to show me those tickets.
As
But
they promised to do.
I will sit down with Brian and talk this over.
do you know? Are they in France right now for this?
I think Spain.
Or Spain? What are the? Are these EU outlets? They don't use the two prongers, or am I thinking of the British outlet?
Oh my, you're a genius, dude.
Wait, hold on.
That's an American outlet.
It looks like it, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
Nah.
Wait, are they not even out of the... Wait. What did they say at the beginning of this? Hold on, wait. Spain outlets. Wait. Spain outlet.
I think Spain's got like the weird Portugal one. I don't think it's this. Is it?
Yeah, they have like, isn't this like the EU one? This weird fucking...
It's got like the... Yeah, it would be like something like that.
Wait, did she say at the beginning of this if she was in America or not?
They said that they moved countries because he had a job offer or something.
Yeah, but in this, did they say that in this video?
I don't remember. Holy shit, that's like some CIA shit actually.
Well-
Like actually look at the outlet.
Over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed. And
They have a Spain map behind them? No! No! Wait, they ended up not moving in the end and they blamed the situation for not moving. They haven't moved then. They haven't moved. 5226. Show transcript. Control F. Offer. Control F. Move. Control F. Spin. Did they mention moving here?
make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome.
Wait, what?
I'm with Brian and talk this over and figure out what we missed and where it was missed and how it was missed and make that right with him.
I mean, that's new information no one's ever found out, so that's like awesome. They're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars because of their own wrongdoing. They're literally going to destroy their entire company because they're this stubborn over maybe $20,000 worth of Lego.
Sure, I'll be keeping you in the loop with what you know.
Nice. I'm excited. This was good work. My other final thoughts is, dude, you solved it, dude. That's awesome.
Brandon, Bess, and Josh are no longer working there.
Wait, so the CEO is gone? Is that what that means?
No, no. Those are the two Mormon guys, not the CEOs.
Oh, what's the CEO's name? Is not Josh?
McNaff or something.
Oh, the CEO is Amon. Jesus. Soon.
I mean, I'd go higher.
Ooh.
Only $1 million.
Ooh, I wonder if you could get cited in the court case too. Part of the TRO was irreparable harm, and reputational damage is part of that. What if they were like, here is Streamer Destiny with Mr. Mutin saying they might have to change their name?
I could, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I think that I would testify that, yeah, their reputation's damaged.
Where's this $250,000 figure coming from? Bulldozer, link her ban.
How much are you getting sued for again?
Who?
How much are you getting sued for, civilly?
Oh, $15 million.
And they're only suing for $1 million? Nah,
nah.
What the hell?
Oh, since I'm on Patreon, I'll be here soon.
We gotta get that going for AE when we start it back up.
Oh, shit. What a fucking wild fucking ride.
That was sick. Coffee does a good job.
Oh no. Oh no.
Community. My name is Jack Conti, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Patreon.
In hindsight,
on May 29th, Patreon received an official takedown request filed by Bricks and Minifigs for media and accounts related to Reckless Ben and an ongoing dispute regarding a local Lego consignment issue. This is the verified complaint with exhibits. This is the request for immediate content removal pursuant to temporary restraining order. And this is the motion for the temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's trust and safety team, we have in fact unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up. And if Bricks and Minifigs doesn't like that, they can sue us. Patreon out.
I mean, they defied a judge's order, right?
I don't know. I seriously doubt that the judge could issue an order.
Gegen die Bösen vorgehen. Das Blöde ist halt nur, da kann halt jeder Vollidiot mitmachen. Das sind ja keine Leute, die irgendwie besonders gut im Thema sind oder so. Danke sehr, Deggy Waggy. Danke, Deggy Waggy, für Giftsub. Es ist ja nicht so, dass ein Influencer über einen anderen Influencer ein Exposed-Video macht, sondern das ist legit irgendwer. Jeder kann da rein. Ich könnte jetzt in den Lester-Schwestern-Reddit gehen und da einfach irgendwas über irgendwen erzählen. Ich kann da einfach reingehen und sagen, Slayer the Unkind ist ein ganz schlimmer. Ja, neulich habe ich bei dem was gesehen. Junge, das ist aber schlimm. So, da kann ja jeder einfach über jeden irgendwie lästern und da kannst du manipulieren, da kannst du lügen, kann auch sein, dass du einfach richtig dumm bist. Kann ja alles sein, ne?
Kurze Antwort ist ja, die lange Antwort folgt jetzt. Denn Jay hat mit seinen Videos nicht nur eines geschafft, nämlich auch ein bisschen Annie ihr Leben zurückzubringen. Nein, er hat auch dafür gesorgt, dass die kritischen Stimmen auf den Lester-Schwestern-Reddit mittlerweile so laut sind, dass Löschen nichts mehr bringt. Ich lese hier einfach mal gerade was vor und blende euch das auch ein. Was ich aktuell spannend finde, dass dieses Forum auch öfter zur Sprache kommt und das wohl gezielt jeder Thread
I need to get closer. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
der auf das Video...
Dieses Forum. Ne? Wie gesagt, das heißt ja Lester-Schwestern, weil hier selbstironisch damals noch Rob Bubble und David Hein lästern zusammen so ein bisschen über Simon Desio, ApoRed und so weiter. David Hein hat irgendwann keinen Bock mehr auf die dumme Scheiße gehabt. Jetzt ist Rob Bubble da mit irgendwelchen wechselnden anderen Gästen. Dann kommt dann irgendwer vorbei und sagt dann, Rob, ich finde auch, die anderen sind alle doof, aber du bist der beste YouTuber von allen. Ich liebe Rob Bubble. Und der Reddit kopiert das so ein bisschen, ne? Ja. Die finde ich auch.
Von Annie Rage verwiesen hat, gelöscht wurde und sie als Schwurblerin abgetan wurde. Ja,
aber das ist halt geil, ne? Dass du einerseits sagst du, wir sind hier so eine offene Community, wir können über alles Mögliche debattieren und diskutieren, aber dann wird schon so ein bisschen moderiert in so eine gewisse Richtung, ne? Werden total gemeine Sachen teilweise stehen gelassen, die auch nicht fundiert sind, aber wenn es dann von der falschen Richtung kommt oder die falsche Richtung angreift, dann sagt man, nee, das Schwurbel, das zählt nicht, das nehmen wir raus.
Und von Essen, Junge, das interessiert mich auch sehr, Lester Schwestermod. Ist da was dran? Wurden hier Posts gelöscht, die Moki kritisch waren, beziehungsweise nicht ins Narrativ passen? Ne, die nächste Antwort wieder, oh, wie lustig, dass man Downvotes kassiert für eine Frage. Da fühlen sich wohl einige ertappt. Ist nicht das erste Armutszeugnis für diesen Sub. Und ja, es wäre ja es natürlich doof, wenn man das belegen könnte, dass solche...
Moderiert oder geframed ist in dem Fall wahrscheinlich das Gleiche. Ja, wie gesagt, stellt euch das einfach vor, wie ihr habt vielleicht so eine öffentliche Kritikbox, vielleicht so, wo ihr in der Firma einwerfen könnt, ne, was ihr für Verbesserungen oder für Kritik habt, aber da sitzt dann einfach so die rechte Hand vom Chef sitzt einfach neben dieser Box und sortiert einfach so ein bisschen, was durchgeht und was nicht und sagt, hey, wir sind super transparent, ne, und wir sind super fair zu allen, aber so das hier sortieren wir aus und das zählt nicht und das hier ist fundiert, das hier nicht.
Posts gelöscht wurden. So wie der hier zum Beispiel. Moki und Co. haben gelogen. Moki, Reeft und wie sie alle heißen, haben nachweislich mit vielen Dingen gelogen, unter anderem ihre Krankheiten. Es gibt Hinweise darauf, dass sie 2 Euro...
Oder ihre Sexualität, ne? Moki ist nämlich asexuell, muss man auch wissen.
50 Dono ebenso inszeniert war. Hier seht ihr auch dann den YouTube-Link, der zu Unreals Video geht. Moki spricht on-cam über die Schizophrenie abgesetzt.
Ach, guck mal. Sorry, dieser Beitrag wurde durch die ModeratorInnen von Lester-Schwestern entfernt. Ach.
Tabletten, dass die Leute anlügen wird, um gegen eine andere Person anzukommen.
Und da kannst du sogar mitquellen. Du kannst da mitquellen mit Video, ne? Und hier Timecode, hier ist dies passiert, hier ist das passiert und man sagt, nee, stimmt nicht. Das stimmt nicht. Aber sie hat gelogen. Ja.
Brief leidet seit ihrer Geburt.
Die Frau hat gelogen. Hallo. Stimmt. Deswegen darf man sie jetzt, die Hexe, verbrennt die Hexe. Sie hat gelogen. Auf den Scheiterhaufen mit ihr. Sie hat gelogen. Diese Frau muss verbrannt werden.
Hat an einen Gendefekt, der 2023 entdeckt wurde und für chronische Kopfschmerzen gesorgt hat. Und damit auch Medikamentenmissbrauch. Den Rest kann ich leider nicht vorlesen, den konnte ich nicht mal wieder herstellen. Aber das wurde genau vor 2 Jahren in diesen Reddit reingeschrieben. Und hier sehen wir die Verweis auf Andris Video. Und hier habe ich noch mehrere Screenshots, wo auch Andri gesagt wird, ey, wir haben es versucht, das bei den Lestern-Schwestern reinzukriegen. Wir haben versucht, dafür Werbung zu machen, es den Leuten aufzuzeigen, dass du hier gerade kämpfst. Allerdings... Wir wissen, wie es gelaufen ist. Der Kampf war hoffnungslos. Stattdessen gab es einen Mega-Thread, wo wirklich nur Sachen reingelassen wurden, die negativ gegenüber Anni waren. Ich lese hier einfach mal ein bisschen weiter vor. Ich hab grad Lust drauf zu lesen.
Frederik der Mega.
So, was haben wir denn da beim ersten? Hier habe ich ein bisschen auch den Ersteller rausgeschnitten. Twitter, IFA-Statement, bekannte Freundin von Anni, Moki Reef. Twitch, IFA, VOD. Twitter, Carina Push. Twitch, Shaggis, VOD, alte Sachen. Die TikToks von Julian Ben mit Annie Ray. TikTok Annie, 7 Tage in
Guck, du kannst so gut belegtes alles machen, aber das ist halt wirklich sehr, sehr bezeichnend, ne? Wenn du so einen Faktenchecker hast, der aber selber nicht objektiv ist, dann kommt sowas dabei raus. Das ist die gleiche Kritik, die ich auch schon an anderen hatte, dass man sagt, wir bringen hier Licht ins Dunkel, ne? Wir sind die Faktenchecker, wir sind das Korrektiv, wir überprüfen das hier alles, was stimmt und was stimmt nicht. Und wenn der Typ, der das prüft, halt eine eigene Agenda hat, dann wird er vielleicht auch mal so ein bisschen blind gegenüber Kritik, weil er einfach bei manchen Sachen, selbst wenn sie gut belegt sind, einfach vorher sagt, nee, aber das kann ja nicht sein. Weil folgendes Dogma ist, Mauki ist cool, Anni ist böse. Und dann kannst du den Leuten richtig gute Belege hinlegen, dass da irgendwas nicht dran stimmt und das darf dann halt nicht. Ich habe das Gefühl, das bricht in vielen Teilen der Bevölkerung gerade wieder so ein bisschen auf. Aber über die letzten Jahre hattest du das sehr, sehr, sehr viel. Dass du sehr viele Themen hattest, wo man einfach gesagt hat, folgende Sachen sind einfach unumstößliche Fakten. Und egal wie das begründet wird, da kommst du einfach nicht drum rum. Das hast du jetzt, also wandelt sich auch mal so ein bisschen, ne? Dass das immer wieder bei manchen Themen so ein bisschen schwankt, dass das dann doch irgendwie die Stimmung kippt und dass es dann andere Themen sind, die unumstößlich sind. Aber du hast immer so Sachen, wo du sagst, nee, das ist das Dogma, das ist auf jeden Fall so und da kannst du nichts anderes zu sagen. Und es ist beim Lester-Schwestern-Reddit halt besonders offensichtlich gerade.
Schlafen. Twitch Nova ist ja ekelhaft. Würde darauf nicht eingehen. Mit VODs.
Was?
In Städten kann man spüren, Lul.
Okay, Daggy-Waggy, danke für diese Info.
Sogar noch dazu. Dann nochmal Nova Anisedak. Mehrfach sogar, weil nämlich auch Backups erstellt wurden. Dazu kommen wir gleich. TikTok, Anikatze Hut war nicht mehr verfügbar, also wurde es auf Ingur hochgeladen. Backup von TikTok, Anikatze Hut. YouTube, Anni, Katze, Spielzeug, YouTube, Playlist, Moki und Jenjan. Ja Mensch, wie kommt das denn alles zustande, dass man sowas sammeln kann? Und dann kommen die Reactions. Twitch geht's mit Clips von Milchbaum und Jenjan. Wir sind nicht schockiert, wir kennen das alle. Da, wo die eine Person die Gabel wie eine Dreijährige hält, wo die in Frankreich ein bisschen was essen, wo die Mental Health Talks auch immer wieder Sinn machen. Dr. Vollclip, nicht gewusst. YouTube VOD. Twitch, Papa Platte, Befreiung für Toni. Ich hab's schon lange gewusst. Ja, Papa Platte, Grüße an den Urlaub an der Stelle. Gronk TV, Begrüßung, Alpha Kevin, Lenzen, Twitter.
Ich dachte erst Stay wäre Mr. X, aber da fehlen dann noch 2 X und ein L. Good one.
Toni zu Anni, Ingur, Samsung, Stellungnahme, Reddit Post, Twitch, Hand of Blood und wir sind noch lange nicht fertig. Da haben wir nämlich noch einen zweiten. So, was haben wir noch? Übersicht, Anni Statement, YouTube, Moki, Streamclip, Twitch, Moki VOD, Twitter, Moki Statement, Novas Antwort, Brief, sogar...
Das ist halt völlig verrückt, was das für eine Doktorarbeit geworden ist. Oder? Also, was das für ein riesiges Thema geworden ist. Ich kenne jetzt mehr über das Liebesleben von Anni als, weiß nicht, oder Mauki oder so, wen die gebumst haben oder was die bei Partys gemacht haben, als von eigenen Freunden teilweise. Das ist so crazy. Warum? Wie das explodiert ist einfach. Mein eigenes, nee, das kenne ich noch, aber keine Ahnung, ey, ist weird.
Noch mit Timestamp, damit wir auch wissen, für was wir haten. Funkclip, Mini-Statement, YouTube, Lenzen-Erfahrung und Ruka Games, der Ex-Cutter, der sich sehr oft widersprochen hat. Ich habe das immer einen anderen mit Moki und mit Anni und Sklaventreiber, habe ich das so ein bisschen outgecallt und bin einfach mal die ganzen Ex-Arbeitgeber durchgegangen. Twitter, Skybreaker, Arbeitsverhältnis, Twitch, Hardcore, Cosplay, YouTube, Short, GNU, Sprachnachricht, GNU, Ghosting und Entschuldigung, YouTube, Twitch, GNU, Twitter, Sophie Storm, Annis ehemalige Assistentin, die mit einer gewissen anderen YouTube-Creatorin zusammen in einem gewissen Musikvideo war, aber das gehört jetzt hier gerade nicht hin. Twitter.
Es sind sehr viele Anspielungen auf Sachen, die ich nicht mitbekommen habe. Wie gesagt, das Ganze ist eine Doktorarbeit, ne? Ich bin da so halb drin. Ich bin, glaube ich, ein Bachelor, was das angeht. Und der Kollege Slayer ist irgendwas Höheres, irgendwas dazwischen. Ich weiß nicht, ob schon Doktor oder vielleicht Doktorand noch. Aber ja, weiß nicht, er spielt die ganze Zeit auf Sachen an, die ich nicht gesehen habe. Mit der Gabel oder mit Ex-Arbeitgeber.
Mau, Maureen, Celine, ex-beste Freundin, Twitch, Moki, Ingo, Reed, Instagram-Story, geht's gut, keine Drohung. Und das sind jetzt nur 2 von insgesamt 5 Listen.
Aber da unten kann man sich dann Hilfe suchen bei der Seelsorge. Ne, man kann in diesem Reddit schön irgendwie Hetzjagd auf andere Menschen machen. Schön über irgendwelche Streamer so detaillierte Listen machen, warum das schlechte Menschen sind. Und ne, Anni hat ja im Podcast selber schon gesagt, sie hat auch schon Suizidgedanken gehabt und sowas, aber weil der Lester-Schwestern Reddit ja von den Guten betrieben wird und nicht von den Bösen. Ne, sind ja keine Hater oder Sif oder sowas, deswegen sagen sie Hilfsangebot, hier kannst du anrufen, wenn es dir schlecht geht. Kannst dann anrufen und sagen, ich werde gemobbt vom Lästerschwestern Reddit. Die Telefonnummer habe ich da übrigens gefunden.
Die ich habe. Und das ist immer wieder passiert. Bis zum zweiten Video von Jay. Da wurden die kritischen Stimmen so laut, dass man nicht mehr alles weglöschen kann. Aber hin und wieder ist doch mal wieder was weggekommen, wenn es dann doch zu kritisch wurde. Aktuell war es ja dieser Post hier.
Ja, aber dann kommen wir mal noch zum nächsten Punkt. Das ist noch der Lästerschwestern Reddit von Rob Bubble, wo laut vielen Usern, die das berichten, pro Anni-Meinung über einen langen Zeitraum gelöscht worden sind. Und nun gab es halt auch folgenden Thread auf dem Reddit, den ich euch mal vorlesen möchte. Zitat: Annie the Duck hatte einen Nervenzusammenbruch, weil Rob Bubble ihren Ex-Freund von vor 12 Jahren interviewte. Inwiefern ist es mit Journalisten...
Ja, vor allem warum? Warum? Warum macht man das?
Ich bin neidisch auf diese Leute, die da so tief drin sind. Sie haben so einen Mega-Thread erstellt. So
Ja.
viel freie Zeit hätte ich auch gerne.
Genauso wie damals die Leute, die bei Twitter diese 60-seitigen PDFs zu allen möglichen Sachen erstellt haben. Man denkt immer, Bruder, wer hat denn Zeit für sowas? Was seid ihr für Leute? Danke, Kivinato, mir geht's manchmal ähnlich. Rob Bubble ist auch jemand, der ist ja nicht irgendwer. Also wenn das irgendein Newcomer-Streamer wäre, okay. Aber Rob Bubble, ist der nicht irgendwie seit 15 Jahren YouTuber oder so? Und ist der nicht teilweise irgendwie bei der ARD, der ist doch Mixtalk-Moderator, glaube ich, dann hat der irgendwelche Jobs bei Follow Me Report und so. Der ist ja jetzt kein unbeschriebenes Blatt. Der sollte ja so ungefähr wissen, was Journalismus ist. Und der macht irgendwelche komischen Videos darüber, wo er allen anderen mit dem erhobenen Zeigefinger erzählt, ja, Journalismus sollte aber anders und die scheiß Yellow Press und sowas. Robs Firma produzierte unter anderem Barts Podcast. Das ist ja interessant. Ne, aber Rob Bubble ist hier... Ich weiß noch, dass der sich auch irgendwie so über die Regenbogenpresse aufgeregt hat und sowas. Ne, wo man sich natürlich drüber aufregen kann, aber er macht ja teilweise ähnliche Sachen. Ja, der hat hier gerne mal sowas hier, ne, die schlimmsten Influencer, und dann sind das natürlich immer die gleichen Gesichter, da siehst du dann jedes Jahr wieder ApoRed und dann sagt er, der ist aber wirklich immer noch schlimm.
Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to the Yoga Body tutorial section. This is crow pose. So I'm going to show you how to do crow pose. Now, I could spend 50 minutes teaching you how to do crow pose. This is going to be the abbreviated version. So, what a lot of people don't realize about crow pose is that it takes a lot of hip flexibility, it takes a lot of core strength, and it takes a lot of total body integration. So I'm not just using my upper body to do crow pose. There's a lot of lower body, there's a ton of lower body, and there's a ton of core involved. My goal is to use my lower body and my core to the point where I don't have so much going on in my upper body. Because no matter what I do, I'm still going to be holding up my body with my arms. And I need to make sure that my core is controlling my legs and that my legs are active so that that it makes it easier for the upper body. So the way I'm going to start the crow pose is actually in a squat. So I'm going to have my feet facing slightly out. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on getting my butt toward the ground. I'm lifting my chest up. So this is the start. And the reason for this is because I need to get my knees into my armpits in order to balance here. If I just bring my knees to my elbows, it's going to be a lot harder. So I need to get my knees as high as I can into my armpits for crow pose. Now I'm also going to reach the tailbone down here, so I'm lengthening my spine and tightening my abs, and that's going to help with the core engagement. So from here, now with the arms, I want you to remember the same thing we would do in a yoga push-up, which means that your biceps are facing forward, and then if your arms bend, your shoulders come forward. Okay, so I'm not coming out like this in the crow pose. That's going to put a lot of an unnecessary stress on the fronts of my shoulders, and that will cause a big imbalance. So with my arms, the biceps are wrapping forward and the triceps are wrapping back. So keep that arm engagement in mind. And then to get up from the squat, what we're actually going to do is come up onto your toes, and that will enable you to get your knees as high into your armpits as possible. So from here, coming up onto the toes as much as I can, lengthening my chest, and then squatting down, bringing my knees into my armpits as much as I can, Now I've got my hands. I'm gonna wrap the biceps forward, make sure the index fingers are facing forward, the thumbs are facing in. I'm gonna screw my hands into the ground, make my forearms really active. Now, instead of looking down and lifting up, I want to pull forward and look forward instead. Now, the easiest way to do this with stability, instead of just lifting both legs off the ground at once, I want you to lift one leg off the ground at a time. So I'm gonna lift my left leg up, and then looking forward, lift my right leg up, squeeze my heels in tight toward my butt, try to lengthen my abs, so don't let them round. You wanna lengthen the abs and pull forward. Elbows are squeezing in, heels are squeezing toward your butt. You can either flex your toes or point your toes, but just make them active somehow. And then the elbows stay in, otherwise you're not gonna have that stability. So lots of core and lots of legs. The more core and the more legs I can use to do crow pose, it's gonna be way easier for my upper body. You've got your entire body weight in your arms here. So if you're not using your core, if you're not squeezing your legs, you're not. It's going to be a lot through my hands down, bringing my knees into my armpits as much as I can. Now I've got my hands. I'm going to wrap the biceps forward, make sure the index fingers are facing forward, the thumbs are facing in. I'm going to screw my hands into the ground, make my forearms really active. Now, instead of looking down and lifting up, I want to pull forward and look forward instead. Now, the easiest way to do this with stability, instead of just lifting both legs off the ground at once, I want you to lift one leg off the ground at a time. So I'm going to lift my left leg up, and then looking forward, lift my right leg up, squeeze my heels in tight toward my butt, try to lengthen my abs, so don't let them round. You want to lengthen the abs and pull forward. Elbows are squeezing in, heels are squeezing toward your butt. You can either flex your toes or point your toes, but just make them active somehow. And then the elbows stay in, otherwise you're not going to have that stability. So lots of core and lots of legs. The more core and the more legs I can use to do crow pose, it's going to be way easier for my upper body. You've got your entire body weight in your arms here. So if you're not using your core, if you're not squeezing your legs, it's going to be a lot harder, and you might be putting too much strain in your upper body. Again, just a quick little review. Knees to armpits as much as possible, lengthening your chest. Instead of looking down, we're looking forward, and you want to make sure to keep the elbows squeezing in. So from this position, one more time, coming up onto the toes, bringing the knees into the armpits, planting my hands firmly, screwing my hands into the ground, squeezing the elbows toward one another, looking forward, coming 1 foot off the ground at a time, squeezing my heels toward my butt, elbows squeeze in toward one another, I'm gonna try and lengthen my neck, so I don't wanna have my shoulders near my ears. Heel squeezing toward the butt, so legs are really active, core is very tight, and then slowly coming back down. So that's gonna take a lot of practice, takes a lot of upper body strength, a lot of core strength.
Depending on who you ask, the frog stand goes by many names. The bakasana, the wrist. The wrist are the most important thing to progress in calisthenics. With a weak wrist, you can't even attempt some skills. The crazy thing is, some people don't even realize you can strengthen your wrist. Now luckily, I'm going to walk you through one simple exercise to stretch them perfectly. Start on all fours, keep your arms straight, and roll your wrist in the 360-degree motion for at least 1 minute straight. After that, turn them around, start on all fours. I'm going to walk you through. Some people don't even weak wrist, you can't even attempt some skills. The crazy thing is, some people don't even realize you can strengthen your wrist. Now luckily, I'm going to walk you through one simple exercise to stretch them perfectly. Start on all fours, keep your arms straight, and roll your wrist in the 360-degree motion for at least 1 minute straight. After that, turn them around and stretch them in a 360-degree motion with this flexion. Again, never forget about your wrist. They are the bridge between you and the frog stand. Chapter 2, Body Position. As for the proper body position, there are several things for us to focus on. The first, what are my fingers doing? There's actually 3 main points when it comes to balancing on your hands. The first is your fingertips. The second is your inner part of your hand, where your knuckles would usually be. And lastly are your palms. When you focus on all 3 of these balance points together, you'll end up gripping the ground like this. The second, what are my arms doing? You want to keep your arms in a bent position. It will look like the bottom of a pike push-up or a shoulder stand. This position will help you activate your muscles and use the strength from them in your shoulders. Third, what is my core doing? For every calisthenics exercise, you want to activate your core. This skill is no exception. Squeezing your core when you need to maintain stillness in your static holds. Activating your core while slightly inverted does take some getting used to. Fourth, what are my knees doing? Your knees should be resting on your elbows. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but this is what we need for even weight distribution. And try to push in with your forearms while you're in that position. 5, what are my feet doing? Last, but certainly not least, you should do your best to point your toes, which will help you activate the lower half of your body and assist in keeping you balanced. Chapter 3, how to breathe. When you try hand balancing for the first time, being in that inverted position will make you think that holding your breath is a good plan. However, oxygen needs to get to your muscles, and you can only do that by cycling your breath. There is no special breathing pattern for this. You just need to breathe regularly. Chapter 4, where to look. Where you look in any hand balancing exercise affects your balance. With both hands on the ground, you should think of them as 2 points of a triangle. Now fix your gaze towards the top point of that triangle. Chapter 5, what does it feel like? When you are in the frog stand, you will feel most of the pressure on the outside of your hands. Your hands will almost feel like they're starting to cup as you're trying to stabilize yourself. You will also feel a bit of pressure and friction where your knees and elbows rest. However, these are all things that you will get used to. Chapter 6, how to train. When it comes to training for the frog stand, it won't look like this outright. There are actually several progressions that you need to learn before you get to where you need to be. After stretching your wrists, you can start by squatting down, keeping your elbows planted in between your thighs. Start to rock forward as if you were attempting to stretch your groin. Rocking into this movement while keeping your feet on the ground will help your wrist and body get used to the movement. Within the next week or 2, I would like you to start lifting your feet, one at a time as you rock into the movement. This will add a bit more pressure into your hands and shoulders. When you can hold this position for at least 20 seconds, we should advance to the next progression. Next up, I want you to lean even more forward into your hands, lifting both of your feet into the air. And do not forget to point those toes. Your goal will be able to hold this for at least 10 seconds. Chapter 7, common issues. The main issues you will have are possibly bonking your head on the ground from overbalancing. And we can solve this easily by putting a pillow or some sort of comforter to block your head from hitting the ground. Chapter 8, how long will this actually take? You'll be happy to know that unlike any other calisthenics skill, you can actually achieve a decent frog stand within 30 days. Yes, 30 days. This is what you get for practicing for 5 minutes a day, no less than 2 times a week. You will know you have mastered the frog stand when you can successfully hold it for at least 20 seconds with ease. Chapter 9, Progressing Further. Now that the frog stand is in our arsenal, what happens next? From here, a great addition to our already established frog stand is the shoulder stand, or the one-legged frog stand. Lifting 1 or 2 legs might seem simple while in this position, but the load your shoulders are forced to pick up makes this extremely challenging to master. Chapter 10, Review. The frog stand is one of the best ways to start your hand balancing journey. We talked about the wrist, warm them up, and keep them strong. We went over body position. Every part of your body matters in this. We covered breathing, where to look, and how the frog stand should feel. You learned how to train, what to expect, and how to fix common mistakes. And now you know it's possible to get it in just 30 days with a little consistency. Once you've got it, take it further. The work does not stop here. If you'd like to go further, I've built out progressions in my app and programs. Go in peace. Strict form only.
Come after anyone that does it. He's obviously going after people that have tried to ruin his life. I don't think that nuance is really lost on those people. It's pretty fucking obvious what he's doing. He's destroying his fucking enemies.
Sure, I think like if he would have dropped all of these at the same time, I think I would have been supportive. But I feel like he made his point largely when he did the 3 on Casey, Tron, Frogan, and Denims. I feel like when he dropped those 3, that was like everybody understood that shit was getting a lot more serious now, and it brought a lot of attention to it. And then there, people could draw battle lines pretty easily. Like, do you support Ethan, or do you think that like people should be allowed to instantly harass and stalk and abuse somebody if they don't like them enough? But then like the
what
two.
What do you think?
No, I think the initial 3 were fine. I fucking nuke them.
I don't know. Well, use this towards J-Stock as an example.
I don't think it's comparable because I ran in the same circles as all of these people, and these people are able to nuke every single connection that I have. So like,
you're saying iDubbbz didn't run in the same circle as Ethan Klein?
I think that by the time iDubbbz and Ethan were feuding, I think iDubbbz like influence on the internet was like 1/1000th of what it was before. Like if Gistigal to me was like a 20 viewer streamer, that I might not even. This might be a whole other story. I might not even give a fuck if there was nobody that was siding with him or anything else. But like it's the fact that these people can have a. Like, has Ian been able to deprive Ethan of any opportunities? Are there people who are gonna be like, oh man, like he emailed this guy and this is a thing?
I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, there's definitely, absolutely opportunities that I think they can't get because they're too toxic. Like, you know, if any article right now ever was to come out about you or to come out about Ethan, it would get flooded with comments that are negative. And that's directly because of like people like iDubbbz, like kind of normalizing the shit, and Hassan, the 2 of them, absolutely. So like that is the harm, and I don't think you can deny that. Like tomorrow, any article anywhere about something that Ethan Klein was doing positively, even if it doesn't even mention Hassan or anything else, would be flooded with negative comments. If he got a new sponsor, they would get mass emailed saying that you shouldn't work with this guy. That's a fucking fact that I think is undeniable.
Sure,
And
but there's different
people,
types of negativity that I think that sucks, but then some cross the line. Like if I got flooded with a whole bunch of things saying that I was like a pro-genocide, pro-whatever, like that's annoying because I would argue it mischaracterizes my political opinion. But that's a lot different than being flooded with a whole bunch of comments saying like you're a pedophile, you want to murder, or I'm sorry, you're a pedophile, you're a rapist, you're whatever. Like these are like a different kind. Same thing with if Ethan got a flood of comments calling him genocide or whatever, that's one thing. But like all the people pushing the child abuse Giardia stuff or whatever is like that's like crossing the line, I think.
Yeah, but that's all of it. That's what is the nuanced criticism of Ethan Klein? That's not just this.
Not nuanced criticism. I think they're bad criticisms, but I think one is like so much more vile and personal, such that like if somebody was to start throwing down lawsuits against people who are claiming that they were engaged in child abuse, I'm fine with it. But throwing down lawsuits for big, substantial disagreements and political opinions, no matter how retarded the other side is, I feel like it's not over the line on that. As annoying as it is.
Look, of all the lawsuits, I'm weakest in supporting of the one towards Noah Sampson. And, you know, what pushes me over the line is I just think that guy's, you know, tried to fuck with Ethan in every way. Like, not just there, but constantly leading efforts, etc. So I think that calling him a genocide supporter is fucking nuts. Because he's like...
But that's like, it's a perspective on...
Not really, no. He's the most cucked Jew that there is. They're like, what other Jew is more cucked than he is on Israel? Seriously.
I understand it's a cucked perspective. I'm just saying that like
so
genocide
it's just bullshit and a
supporter
lie,
is such...
right?
It's bullshit, yeah, but it's like, is this
Okay,
like
then-
defamatory?
Yes, it's fucking defamatory to say that you're supporting a genocide. Are you fucking retarded?
I
Yes.
super disagree. I think that is squarely First Amendment protected. If you feel like I'm supporting a genocide because I'm supportive of the United States or Israel, I think you absolutely have the right to have that opinion and to say it. In matters of political disagreement, this is where our freedom of speech stuff is going to be at its literal apex, the strongest protection it could possibly be. Even if I agree that that's a fucking retarded opinion a million times over.
Oh wait, I know how we can do this. Get past Destiny to argue. Does genocide have a specific definition or not?
I mean, I would argue it does in an international law context, yeah.
Okay, so well, two questions to ask here. Number one, is Israel committing a genocide right now?
I mean, I would say at this point, I don't think so. I haven't seen the evidence of that.
Okay, so if I said that someone was supporting a genocide, wouldn't that be factually incorrect?
Somebody is supporting a genocide.
Well, a genocide is a crime.
Well, the incorrect part would be the opinion on whether or not somebody had committed a crime, right? Or on whether the
genocide
country
is de facto a crime. That's an international defined crime.
Yeah, you're in such but international law. You're in such like a political speech world.
This is your world. This is you fought against the definition of what genocide is versus not.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying,
not
like, you
through
can't-
not through defamation lawsuits. Through arguing.
It's all the same.
It's
well,
not the same.
You were arguing the legal definition of what genocide is.
Yeah.
People were going after the semantic view.
Yeah, which I thought
of,
was
you know,
fucking
what-
retarded. I think it's super stupid. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the problem is that you're now dealing with the law. Someone is suing someone because they are violating what the legal term of genocide is. And you're like, oh, well, I want to fall in semantics here. And it just doesn't work that way. If you're going to be in the legal scope of this, that's just going to be the case, right? Legal,
So
legal,
if I say
legal.
like I think OJ murdered his wife, do you think that somebody calls me or let's say that I say I don't think that OJ murdered his wife or something, and then somebody accuses me of being like fucking an OJ murder supporter or whatever. Should I be able to sue that person for having that perspective on me?
You have to be more specific.
So I'm out here and
what
I'm
this
saying
is.
OJ did not kill. Is it Anna Nicole Simpson or am I making that up?
Is OJ still alive? Is he?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
If I say OJ did not murder his wife, he didn't, and then somebody's like, "Fucking Destiny over here, he's a fucking murder supporter." What's the name of the fucking OJ is dead? He died recently. Wow, way to go. But like, if somebody were to keep saying that about me,
No,
like
Jay.
Destiny's a murder supporter, he supports murder, and then it's like, well, factually, he was not found guilty of murder in a court of law, so I'm going to sue you for defamation.
I think in the case of OJ, it would be more complicated because then he was found, like, not to Pisco it, but like he was found guilty civilly, so there would be more context and nuance to it. Look, as I said, the Noah Samson thing is the weakest of them all.
Was
but
OJ
to say
civilly
that-
liable for murdering her?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
fucking
know
lost
that.
he lost the case. Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't remember that. I don't know. He might have. I just don't remember.
Yeah, he won the criminal case, lost the civil case. To say that, well, in this world, it doesn't matter. Like, let's say that you did. Who's someone that definitely murdered someone? Oh, the dude who killed the
David.
It doesn't matter.
Casey
Sure.
Anthony.
Yeah, the Casey Anthony. If you're like, I support this. It depends on what you mean by support. Like, I think these are questions for the judge. Materially supporting it with propaganda, with hey, you should go support these people at their the GoFundMe page. I think that's a different type of support. Just saying, I support this action happening in the West and leaving it there. That's a different one. Saying that you support it. How do you support it? I think these are things that need to be fed out in the video. And that's probably what the case will be decided on. Like, is he making the case that Ethan Klein is directly supporting a genocide? I think first off, he's going to be kind of fucked because I don't think that internationally they've said it's a genocide at this point or that it's met it. So you're kind of in an awkward spot where you're saying something.
But yeah,
that
but
can't
internationally,
possibly be
I don't even know if there have been any genocides.
Yeah, in the
like, I don't
US.
think there's been a single fucking one. But as per the ICJ's decisions, I think a few people were held responsible related to Bosnia, I think, in the ICC. But I don't know if any country was ever found in the.
Well, okay.
So I mean, so are we saying that?
The question is there a term of a genocide inside of the U.S. law? And that would be the first question to answer there. And if that's defined, then you would say, has this happened? And is this person supporting that action? And if both of those things are untrue, then it passes the litmus test of per se defamation because it is there's the four things you can do. It's like having an STD, something that would make them look bad in
Per
their
se
profession.
would be like if you're accusing Ethan himself of like committing a genocide or something.
Well, no, because supporting a genocide would be a crime as well.
Well, it depends on what do we mean by support. If somebody is like a Zionist, couldn't you argue that?
Well, that would be the thing that the court would have to determine under those.
What
cases,
I want?
right?
Do I want a court argue? These are super ultra political opinions. Do I want a court sorting through these things?
Well, I mean, that's what they did for people who were secretaries of the Nazis. Yes, they did, right?
In
What
civil
about the people
court,
that-
in for civil litigation? No, this was about criminal responsibility.
Well, no, there was definitely civil stuff when it came to reclamation of property that was stolen from Jews and things like that during the Holocaust. Absolutely.
You can do reclamation and restitution as part of a criminal procedure. It doesn't have to be civil. Were there really Jewish people that were
are
civilly
you saying
suing?
there wasn't any civil liability after the Holocaust of Jews trying to get property back or things along those lines?
My guess is it was all handled either in some kind of criminal thing, the big Nuremberg tribunal stuff, or it was some massive like multilateral agreement or whatever would be my guess. I doubt there were Jews having to, or there was like a state process by which you could apply or something. I doubt that there were Jews that had to like sue individual Nazis to get their homes back. That'd be my guess.
I don't know. I think there is probably instances of it happening, and there's certainly instances of it happening in this century. Where like old Jews find out that their paintings are on a wall and they're suing to get it back, right? So that's definitely things that's happened multiple times in the last 50 years. Multiple stories have been like that in the New York Times. Things along those of people, oh, my family used to own this painting and the Nazi took it, and they don't go through criminal courts; they go through civil actions.
In Canada, you only have to prove falsity, malice, or special damages to win a defamation suit.
I guess I would just put it this way, like, I think it's defamation when people say to you like, "Oh, you're a pedophile." Like it's one of the very few like per se things for people to do.
I think if you want to say I think Destiny's like a child fucker, I would agree with that. But if somebody wants to say that like, oh, if Destiny thinks that a 16-year-old can be hot or whatever, he thinks that blah blah blah, they can look older, then I think that makes him a pedophile. I feel like, as disgusting as I think that comment is.
Well, but if that's couched, yes, but it's all about how it's done. So it's very different for me in passing to say, like, I'll give you an example of something that would cause me issues versus not. If I go make a post on Twitter right now and I say, Hassan Piker shocks his dog, nothing Hassan can do. It's just GG for him. Like, it's game over there. However, if I release a YouTube video called the Twitch star who has a history of prolific animal abuse, and then it's a video that seems to be a documentary with things taken out of context and everything else to make Hassan look as bad as possible, that would be passing the bar to the point where you could sue over something like that, absolutely. And that's the difference of a statement said in passing without context that no reasonable person would assume to be serious. And again, remember, this is how Elon Musk got off. He's like, hey, people call people a pedo all the time. What do you want me to say? And he won. He won the civil case against the cave diver. Remember, right? It's about the substantiality of what you're doing, and that's kind of the problem for Noah, is that he said this person's supporting a genocide, and here's a 3-hour documentary proving that they're supporting a genocide. But obviously, that's the issue for them to debate in that case.
When I think about the types of speech that I would want chilled, I think like actual actionable factual claims or whatever of like crimes I think are good things to chill. But if somebody is thinking like, I feel like Destiny's a fucking genocide supporter or whatever, like, fuck, but if I say that he might sue me, so I don't know if I'm gonna give that like that. As much as again I might.
That's not fair. I didn't just say that. He also did like a 3-hour video on that.
Sure, it does a 3-hour video on how since Destiny supports Zionism and the Zionist project, and since he consistently seems to only air the grievances from the Israeli side, and he's constantly downplaying the Palestinian side, I think he's a genocide supporter, blah, blah, blah. Again, as much as I might disagree with the assertion, like, I think that's I
wouldn't want that chilled either.
Yeah, I think this is like the apex of, this is the strongest point of First Amendment protections, is like you have a right to your political opinion about my political opinions, even if I think that they're grossly exaggerated, factually incorrect, or whatever. Like, this is just what I would expect. I would expect these protections to be operating at their strongest point here.
Well, yeah, because you can also make a video fighting back against it.
I'm sure maybe not. Depends on how big the creators are. I just don't think that. I think that people should have a worry about blatantly lying about something. So, for instance, this would be a thing. If somebody were to say, I think Destiny wants Israel to commit a genocide and hide their crimes or whatever bullshit, I don't think you can sue I think that it's disgusting. I think that is. That's an opinion you can have. But for the people
But
that were
they're not
saying,
saying, "I think."
sure, that's fine. What are everything is I think when somebody says this thing. That's what that means. Okay.
No, that video wasn't I think. It was these are the people that are doing this.
Yeah, as per your opinion, I think that this is the thing. I think doesn't hedge it at
Well,
all.
you're adding that on, but that wasn't the title, right? That wasn't what it
Everything
was.
is the thought of the person putting it out. That you're not. It's not a hedge to say Ethan is a pedophile.
Okay, so the
Ethan
New
is a
York
rapist. Let me
Times
say
can just come out and say Destiny is a pedophile, and then it's like, well, this is what the author thinks. No, of course not.
the titles are the same. If somebody posted an op-ed and they said Destiny's a pedophile, and then another op-ed said I think Destiny's a pedophile, it's effectively the same thing. It's the opinion of the author. That's an op-ed.
No. If the New York Times put out an article calling you a pedophile, you would absolutely win a defamation case. They're like, and for you to think that you wouldn't is insane.
For pedophilia, maybe because there's a conflation in criminal law between pedophilia and child rape or whatever, so it's not necessarily the same as a psychologist term. So that it might be true as per pedophilia, just because a lot of people will synonymize pedophilia with. Shut the fuck up. What was the point? Oh, if somebody. So back to the genocide thing. If somebody says Destiny supports Israel hiding genocide or whatever, right? As stupid as I think it is, I think you're allowed to have that opinion without me suing you. But for the people that were saying things like, here is Destiny giving the IDF tips as he's coaching the IDF or whatever, that I think would be like a defamatory claim, because for ignoring any of the political opinions, this is not a speech I'm giving to the IDF. That's like just a factually incorrect. No part of that's like not a correct claim at all. So like I think that in the weeds there, I think you could get into things. So the one thing that had me like 51% on the side of Ethan for the Noah Samson thing was I think I disagreed meta or in the totality of it, but I think Noah Samson went further with one or two things, and he made some like very specific claims that I think were almost certainly not true, like explicitly not true, and that was like, fuck. I guess not. But just like as per political opinions being relegated in defamation court is super not. I think that's a very spicy subject for the United States.
Okay, this is a little bit interesting. So you think that it would be defamation for people to say this is Destiny teaching IDF soldiers how to hide their crimes, with the assumption that maybe there was one or two there, or everyone in Israel has to go through conscription. Okay, and there's so. Some of that could be, up for debate. But the idea to say that someone is supporting a genocide when there's a legal definition of it, and you say it hasn't been met, wouldn't that by definition make the statement false?
No.
Okay. So you're saying...
I don't think anybody around the world views, unfortunately, at this point in time, views genocide as like the strict legal defining thing or whatever.
Okay. Well, courts do.
What do you mean courts do?
Courts usually rely on the legal definition of terms.
When it comes to civil litigation, my guess is almost certainly going to be relying on common parlance or layman's terms for how most people are going to understand a thing, depending upon what element of the defamatory thing you're talking about.
I think I would disagree. I think that while courts try to keep up, like there's been cases where there's been contracts enforced because someone would send a thumbs up emoji, right? And it's like, okay, well, technically, is that agreeing to a contract or not? Like courts are catching up to modern day language and things along those lines. But still, there is the case of like, they will look at like, what is the thing that's been said? Is the statement true or false? And that's really what the judge would have to get to in that circumstance. I think that's a realistic thing to assume that they would do. You would want them to do that for your case, where they say, did Destiny tell IDF soldiers how to hide their crimes? Yes or no? Right? And you would want the judge to do that. And on the other side, it'd be like, well, there's some fucking IDF soldiers here, and he's making a joke. So what? Yeah, this is a very fair thing to say. This definitely happened. And you would be like, well, I'm not really preaching. I'm just preaching to people. The fact that some of them might serve in the IDF is irrelevant here, and that would be something for the court to decide in that case. But it also goes the other way. If you're saying that like someone is doing a genocide, supporting a genocide, etc., you'd be like, but yeah, everyone uses that word that way. It's the same thing.
I disagree. If somebody were to say Destiny is telling the IDF how to hide their war crimes, and like it is obvious. Well, maybe not if you're watching a 9-second clip, but I'm talking to a group of fans as the function of Israeli fans, not as the function of these are IDF soldiers. This is clearly and obviously not the case for this particular talk I'm giving. But if I were to sue somebody because they were to say something like, Destiny said that Their claim is, here's Destiny teaching his fans how to hide war crimes, and then I were to sue them for defamation saying, actually, wearing outfits from people's homes that you've, taken over, that's not actually a war crime, so you're wrong there. I don't think that would be a defamatory statement, because war crimes, a lot of people think genocide is a war crime, not realizing that war crime is like a separate statute. Like, I think war crime is a very broadly used term, and I don't think there would be like a strict, like, you have to adhere definitionally to it, otherwise you're engaged in defamatory behavior. So, like, if it was the case that putting on dresses is not a war crime, which I don't know if it is or isn't, but like, if it wasn't, I don't think that would be a defamatory statement. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I can't argue with I don't think so.
Well, isn't that what we're arguing? Wait, where did you learn this? I feel like this is a thing that you just recently learned. Do I need to stop getting rid of I think? There's no difference between these statements.
Between what? I think and what?
Dan is an asshole versus I think Dan is an asshole. These two statements are basically the same thing.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Wait, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong legally speaking.
Okay.
Whoa.
We can agree.
Yeah,
to disagree.
are you coping right now or no?
I think we can just agree to disagree. Do you think that I think is like the in Minecraft? So let's say that Ethan was to try to sue me for.
No, but
Steven said that I rape kids, and then I say, whoa, judge, whoa. Look at the full statement. I said I think Ethan rapes kids. Oh,
you're just so wrong here.
No, he said I think beforehand.
No, you're just wrong here completely. Because one, by saying I think, implies uncertainty, and it also does not describe that something is a fact. It is what you believe to be true when you say that
I don't believe that I think it describes uncertainty. I think it frames it more from the first person's perspective.
You're wrong.
Hold on. Okay. Wait, I think I can see your perspective. This is the difference between saying, like, I think versus I think. Is that where we're caught up on this?
I guess the best
Because
way
if somebody were to say, like, I think Dan murdered his cat, versus, like, I think Dan murdered his cat.
No, that's not it.
So you think any defamatory statement, if you put I think in front of it, it becomes non-defamatory now?
Not necessarily, but I think that it becomes more defamatory without it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I think can have the understanding of not knowing. I think the world is flat is different than it's different than this statement of the world is flat. I think that planes run on jet fuel.
I think the world is flat.
I think that planes run on gasoline.
I really don't think that there's a distinction between saying I think the world is flat versus the world is flat.
You know what? I think that Aetna has the cure for cancer, and they're not releasing it.
Okay.
Aetna has the cure for cancer, but they're not releasing it.
I would say it depends on how you say I think at that point.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, the perspective and the context of the article is what matters. If there's like an authoritative article or like a textbook, putting I think is kind of weird. But if you're offering your perspective of as an individual, depending on the intonation, like if you say like Aetna has the cure for cancer versus I think Aetna has the cure for cancer, I think these are these are pretty similar in terms of authoritativeness. Both of them are your opinion.
Depends on like what the article at the beginning, you might have just said this, what the beginning says, like, and how you get to there. Because if you end the article with that's I think Aetna has the cure for cancer, and that's how you end the article, well then that could just be like a definite statement.
Also, I think when you leave out the I think, the implication sometimes you might be quoting from another thing.
Or that you don't know.
It could be
sorry. Yeah.
Hold on, quick, Hassan. Flop. If you're wondering why these serial defamers never got sued by Ethan Klein, even though Epstein, not iDubbbz, is the one who initially claimed Ethan molested his children, doubled down, it's because Dan Stockman, the one who realizes he lied to thousands of advertisers to trigger an adpocalypse on Twitch.
Wait, pause. So there was an adpocalypse?
Has been a financial sponsor of Ethan Klein's podcast, Redact Dev, and they all support Israel and cyberstalk and harass its prominent critics online. Dan has openly fielded Congress people to try and deplatform me for my pro-Palestine advocacy. Of course, there was never a peep from the YouTube commentary community. They mostly supported it as terrorism support. I like how he's like recreating the whole weird snarker complex that he has on his side for the other side. Is this the new Snarker's goal to push Ethan into a lawsuit with Destiny? That was their goal months ago. They've been trying to do this for a long time.
They failed.
Wow. Okay.
Using him and his financial status to pursue people that they don't like on the internet, to constantly goad him into litigation after litigation, telling him that he's doing the right thing over and over again, telling him that he actually should pursue these fucking people and bury them in financial troubles through costly litigation. Those are the people who are actively going into his community, acting as though they're lifelong fans, and using him like a fucking low-cal weapon.
Damn, he's got all the
But
words.
of course, it's impossible to get him to understand this because he's far too paranoid at this point.
Harassing, stalking stuff, sending CPS, I remember that, like human skulls. Those things I recall from like the snark community, so it made sense that he would pursue litigation there. Because that is highly illegal fucking
psychopath behavior.
Is Hassan playing this through his speakers? Is that where we're hearing this?
So that one I remember, and that one made
Like, I don't even disagree with the premise if there was any veracity to these claims, okay? If there was any proof, of like
it's all fake.
Coordinated messaging where people were just like, yes, let's go, let's send fucking child protective services to his house, then yeah, it's valid. The problem is,
just as a heads up, the reason why all of this is so fucking pernicious and evil is because all of this type of behavior, literally all of it, could stop if all the heads of that community were to say, this isn't okay, we don't do this shit anymore. It would all stop. All of it would stop. And everybody involved knows it. Now, the viewers might not understand that, but everybody that knows. And you can tell this because anytime Hassan was feuding with another creator and the audience was being mean towards him, Hassan automatically, completely understood what was going on. He was like, XQC, when you say this shit about me, you know that your audience is taking it a certain way. Like he would be very, very in tune with what it was communicating to the audience. So it's very annoying when you get these disgusting fucks. They're giving cover basically to the entirety of that community by saying like, oh, you know, well, I don't know if anybody was even doing this. Like, can you even show proof that one guy was saying, like, where's the proof of the guy saying I'm calling CPS right now on Ethan, right? Where is it? It's like you treat everybody like we're fucking retarded. We know what's happening. Again, this only comes from one side, and it only happens to one group of people, and it's consistently happening over and over and over and over and over again. So I don't know why he's playing stupid. I know why he's playing stupid. It's for the audience, but because the audience can pretend not to understand. But Jesus.
None of his lawsuits have anything to do with that. None of his lawsuits has anything to do with that at all. He really thinks he's gonna fucking crack this case. He thinks there's like all these people on the internet are all out to get him, and they're trying to fucking actively ruin his life, not realizing that the only person ruining Ethan Klein's life is Ethan Klein. Okay? His paranoia is the reason why people don't fuck with him anymore. And
it's your response.
Frivolous lawsuits that he's launched against his opposition is part of the reason why people don't fuck with him anymore. His opinions on Israel is part of the reason why
Israel, yeah.
He was accusing everyone of CPS. Only when Denim said he's suing him, he retracted.
I want to address something from Denim's correction demand in her letter. The letter claims I falsely stated that Denims herself filed the preceding CPS report, or that Denims caused others to do so. The letter also states on March 11th, I acknowledged Denims had denounced herself or anyone in her community making contact with CPS. Let me be clear. I have never claimed that Denims called CPS. I have never implied that Denims called CPS. If my statements were interpreted as stating this, I want to correct the record and make it clear that I do not believe that Denims called CPS. Obviously. Moronic. Idiotic. Stupid. Let me also address the point in the letter that I claim Denim caused others to call CPS. I did not state, and I do not believe, Denims made a direct call to action to her audience to contact CPS, obviously.
Yeah, this is lawyer speak because he got hit.
Right?
He got hit with a CND, I assume, under threat of a lawsuit while appearing to read a letter from his lawyer. Ethan Klein attempts to formally retract 3 defamatory claims against Denims. Ethan admits Denims didn't call CPS.
You think Ethan got hit with a cease and desist by Denims in the middle of his ongoing lawsuit against her? Well, this was May 19, 2025, so I don't know how long ago this was, but Ethan is probably just clarifying exactly what his claims are to make sure there's no confusion about what's being said, is my guess. He could have been hit with a cease and desist, maybe, but I don't know if I would just assume that.
CPS didn't denounce those that called CPS, never made a call to action for another to call CPS, okay? Except he literally did do that, for the record, okay? He did, and when he says like, "Oh, I'm doing this as I'm waging this just war against Snark," that's what he's referencing. And a lot of people
we'll play the clip where he makes a direct
themselves
claim with that claim,
believing that is the truth.
No.
That like all of these people that Ethan Klein is actually going after, at some point, harbored people or directly called CPS themselves. They even say that about myself as well, when it's like I'm the least involved in fucking drama with Ethan Klein for the most part too. Lol, not you. No, he has. Oh, I thought you were calling Ethan a punk ass bitch. Okay, it is ridiculous.
To me.
Yes, he has a lot of money from being one of the OG major YouTubers, and also having at the time very successful.
Actually, I changed my opinion completely on the Ian lawsuit. Never mind. I think that here's the only mistake that I think Ethan has made, but I don't know if Ethan could actually do this without it counting as like extortion or blackmail, so maybe he wouldn't be able to do this. If it wasn't extortion, Ethan should be able to put out a statement saying, if you guys call all this crazy shit off, you can say that like you know, you can call me a genocide supporter, whatever the fuck else, but like all the CPS shit, the child shit, all the crazy personal attacks, if you guys aren't willing to call this off, then just fucking go through whoever you can with whatever tool is available to you, civil litigation, otherwise. It can't possibly be, like, if he's suing people and you still have the little ringleader out here, Hassan, it is still essentially giving a pass to all of them, claiming that all of this is fake and imagined and all this, well, and fuck you, fuck all of you. I have no sympathy for anybody involved in this fucking circus ring, actually. And it's also funny to see all of you fall on your swords for Hassan, who will never do a single fucking thing to help you his entire fucking life. This guy wouldn't lift a finger to help his own fucking family if he didn't think he could advance his career off of doing so. So it's really funny to see all of these people come out and get sued by Ethan, and Hassan is completely and totally fucking abandoning you. And make no mistake, just like how, because it's all the same shit, just like how Donald Trump abandons every single person around him, just like how Mark Cuban told, it was Elon Musk, right, that when Trump's done with you, he's going to chew you up and throw you away as a used fucking fleshlight, and he did, right? Hassan will do the exact same thing with you. Begged Ian to post this cringy fucking content cop on Ethan, assuming that it would take him out. It didn't, and now Ian is chewed up and thrown to the fucking wolves, or even worse, to the Anisas in the world.
Clothing brand at the peak of YouTube, at the peak of like when YouTubers were basically fucking printing money, and he is literally just using that war chest to dunk on like 100 concurrent Twitch streamers, man. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like totally ridiculous.
He's just a random 100 concurrent
powerful
That's it.
Turning around and using the money cannon against those who he does not like.
True. That's it.
It's a classic story. YouTube has many evil villains like this. But because the overwhelming majority of the fucking commentary sphere, don't like the YouTubers that Ethan is pursuing, they have literally openly supported his actions.
Why don't they like Ian? I would argue for good reason, is because a lot of people in the commentary community, and you know what? I'm going to agree with Hassan here. I'm going to agree with Hassan 1 trillion%. And I'm going to even agree with him with regards to Ethan, because I think Ethan qualifies as well, kind of. Most of the commentary people are not only not supporting, are not supporting the creators that Ethan is attacking. Most of the commentary people aren't saying fuck all at all because they're fucking cowards. Because nobody wants to come out and actually say, hey, all of this shit is kind of cringe and all of it needs to, like, chill the fuck out. And everybody seems to have a problem making these statements. But again, this is like the unilateral disarmament. It's the same thing as the Trump shit. Like, Hassan will come out and cry and whine and bitch like a little fucking baby when it comes time to his side getting attacked. Meanwhile, half this fucking thing is him gaslighting the fuck out of Ethan, saying, oh, Ethan is hallucinating that all these people are attacking him and coordinating and doing all these things. It's like, bro, what other possible conclusion could you come to after watching, 20 different content creators all snarking the exact same fucking points across 20 different subreddits, 10 different discords, 100 different content creators, all with the same fucking points? All, like, come on, like, what do you mean, bro?
Unbelievable.
Talking about these other ones, granted, I haven't dove too deep into all of those because this is clearly a lot. I was mainly focused on the defamation one, but man, Ethan Klein has become like the Nintendo of YouTubers. He is extraordinarily litigious. Anyway, enough blabbering. What started this defamation lawsuit was this iDub stream.
Okay, this is my watermark for the stream. I don't want any of my content being stolen. Got another Kalshi ad? I'm sorry, Fazium. We're all getting Kalshi ads these days. It's okay. So I do want to say I don't agree with what's being said in this comment here, but I'm putting it on screen because I think it should be addressed because it's a big, bold accusation that's very fucked up.
It is very fucked up, and
yeah, it's like very clear what iDubbbz is doing. It's twofold. One, at that point, Ethan was just like constantly clipping his fucking streams to like, dunk on him. So he thought that this would be a defensive shield against Ethan, most likely clipping his streams.
What? By the way, guys, I'm going to start playing live execution videos in the quarter of my stream so that people stop clipping it. What a stupid fucking excuse. That's not even a good... You could workshop a better defense than that, bro. How fucking stupid.
And two, it is a fucking defamatory statement. It's a ridiculously defamatory statement. And yet Ethan was not even remotely invested in addressing that defamatory statement at all, and instead did the unthinkable and went after iDubbbz for literally disavowing the defamatory statement.
Disavowing,
he literally
by
said
the way.
he did CPS with timestamp.
Attention.
Bro, you were so smug. She did CPS. Remember that? Okay, good.
Right now, one's a little bit more.
Yeah, that was his fucking rallying cry for the longest time.
I hate this thing of people. This is a human thing. Bro, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I want to retire so bad. This thing of like, oh, you're claiming that this is your overall position? Well, check out this 4-second video clip I've got of you saying a thing. And it's like, oh, fuck me. The 4-second video clip. I wasn't ready for the 4-second video clip. He said, Denims did the CBS thing. Well, that overrules every other fucking thing he's ever said. The totality of his word? No, of course not. Everybody understood that to mean that Denims personally was fielding calls to CBS. Of course. So fucking stupid, bro.
She did CPS. He did CPS. They all did CPS. Everybody and their mothers.
Yeah, everybody made a call, bro. That's what he's saying.
Besides Ethan Klein,
yes,
has been responsible for calling child protective services.
It's just criticism. It's just criticism. It's just criticism. It's just criticism.
That he would think it's a good idea to post that there while knowingly aware that it's not true. So the message isn't Ian's. This comes from Destiny, and he found this screenshot and he kept it on screen for a very long time. And he said he didn't agree with it, but thinks it needs to be addressed because it's so fucked up. It is a terrible stream. Just giving it to you real blunt, real raw. It is no good.
He's fucking.
And I'm no stranger to getting shit talked by iDubbbz. He has said some very nasty, very untrue things about me on his broadcast as well. But what is being reported in regards to this stream isn't exactly telling the whole story.
Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? I don't even know what iDubbbz has said about Charlie, but that's crazy, bro.
What?
No, when I first what? Real blunt, real stuff, and he's true. So the message isn't Ian's. This comes from Destiny, and he found this.
Yeah, why is Ethan not suing Destiny? That's a real question. I think we all know why. Partially because Ethan is aligned with Destiny. Ethan has been utilizing the Destiny community to launch attacks against his fucking enemies on the internet. They're aligned together on the issue of Israel. That's another huge deal.
It's not a huge deal.
Fucking puzzle here.
Oh my
That's
God.
It. Sometimes it's a lot simpler than you think.
Yeah,
this story
it is
very
simple. It's all about Israel, Palestine.
That was a brief moment where they were fighting one another.
Brief moment.
Okay. I think it was because Ethan had implied that Destiny was a pedophile because he's going through that court case right now where it came out that he was trying to procure child sexual abuse material from an underage, from a minor.
I cannot wait until my fucking court case
that he was sending out.
Revenge
people without the consent of the other parties involved.
True.
He's still actively in that court case because he's getting sued by the victims. Who he
multiple
distributed the sex videos of.
Yes.
Right. And Ethan was obviously fucking shitting on him over it.
That's not at all when that was over.
In
But
exchange for that, Destiny did what Destiny always does. He turned on one of his collaborators, Ethan, in this circumstance. Even though, literally, his co-host of his podcast, Dan Saltman, again, another person who is unbelievably pro-Israel, or at least utilizing the pro-Israel advocacy as a way to take care of his enemies, is a funder, is one of the last remaining sponsors of Ethan Klein's podcast.
One of the last remaining sponsors.
And he kept it on screen for a very long time.
It's crazy how many fucking lies were in that statement. Please, Lord Jesus, let me be done with this lawsuit. So I can start fucking firing off cease and desist when this fucker lies about me. Oh my God. He didn't summarize any part of that fight correctly. But remember, it doesn't matter. His audience will never, ever, ever go to look up the source of any of these fights. The only thing that matters is the illusion that you can create about the fight in front of your audience. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing they'll ever see. Remember, the media bubbles. That's the only thing that matters.
And he said he didn't agree with it, but thinks it needs to be addressed because it's so fucked up. It is a terrible stream. Just giving it to you real blunt, real raw. It is no good. And I'm no stranger to getting shit talked by iDubbbz. He has said some very nasty, very untrue things about me on his broadcast as well. But what is being reported in regards to this stream isn't exactly telling the whole story. Now, when I first heard of this lawsuit, I was reading a bunch about it, but I wanted more information like directly associated with it to make sure I wasn't getting like fraudulent or misleading shit fed to me. So I reached out to someone whom I know is on the H3 team, and Ethan did hear about that, so he did talk directly about me on his show and challenge me on a few things, and I did eventually get to talk directly with Ethan, and I shared my...
I wish he would have done this to me when he was doing the Kayage story, but hey, you know, that's besides the point at this point. You know, bygones. I let bygones be bygones.
That was incredibly wild that Hassan just let us say that. Like, what the fuck? This is one of the reasons in my mind, I think this is one of the reasons why Hassan likes me being banned on Twitch, because I have absolutely zero protections from Hassan saying crazy shit about me. Like, if I was a partnered streamer, I don't think Hassan would make the same statements because he could get in trouble for it.
Full perspective on things and the problems I had around...
Has he said anything you can assume for? My court case needs to be done before I try to sue somebody for defaming me about something that's said about me while I'm in active litigation. What if on the 1% chance that I end up losing my court case and I'm suing him for defamation over my court case and then it's so fucking retarded that all you fucking retards in chat keep saying, you should sue, you should sue, you should sue, you should. One, I don't have the money for it. I'm not gonna have multiple fucking lawsuits going that who the fuck knows what the cost would be. And then two, I have to win my current one so that I can put all those claims to rest before I try to sue somebody related to claims I make about my active court case. Okay? Jesus fuck.
And my concerns, and got his perspective on things to see if there's any misunderstandings and such. Ultimately, I don't think we fully saw eye to eye on this, which, you know, that's going to happen. I fully understand that this is a very...
Charlie, if he wanted to, but I don't think Charlie would ever reach out to me.
Everything him and his family went through with snarkers in particular.
Balls in your mouth, 3 balls in your mouth, 3
What the
balls in
fuck
your mouth.
does items have to do with this shit?
What is
Bro, this is literally the most Israel-coded story of all time, dude.
It's crazy to me. Just know that when I think he's a disgusting fucking Turk, when I say that, I just mean the nationality of Turkey. I don't mean anything about, I'm not implying any ethnic group. Like, it's such a bullshit comment that you can just say this. I don't understand how you, like, I hate Mexicans. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not racist. I didn't mean people from Mexico. It's a nationality, dog. It's so crazy retarded to me that they can hide behind. It's not even like coded language at this point. Like, this has nothing to do with Israel or Jews or anything at all. What the fuck does that comment even mean? There's such an Israeli coded, it's so crazy spiritually Israeli that it's like a normal thing. Oh my God.
It's literally but the snarkers. Snarkers have become the but Hamas of Ethan's universe, okay?
Oh, and Hassan supports them both.
We're just gonna fucking do, you know, we're gonna do a 8-front war, or in this circumstance, a 5-front legal war with anyone and everyone around us because snarkers call CPS on us. Like, what do you mean? What the fuck does that have to do with anybody else?
That the CPS and the human skulls incident are like a legitimately traumatizing thing, like the fraudulent CPS call. Like, I get how inexcusable and abhorrent that is. I really do.
Yeah, imagine if you got the Hassan treatment, commentary, community, Reddit, mainstream media, politicians.
Oh my God, you're so fucking retarded, bro.
We are babying this 40-year-old multi-millionaire with potentially upwards of $100 million in his fucking bank account.
Adult child.
To legally go after
There it
much
is.
smaller
children.
No fucking financial
He's an
backing
adult.
whatsoever.
He's an adult beating up on children. It's not fair. That's
because
they're
CPS.
children.
Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's crazy, man. What is this like this babying that this guy? How many lawsuits is he allowed to have under his belt until people go, okay, maybe this is a bridge too far? Like, how many random people that he is annoyed with on the internet that he is just like trying to bury under a mountain of paperwork with costly litigation until people go, you know.